Welcome back to Han Took Shots First, and this week we're talking about all of 2 BBY. I'm Derek.
I'm Jack.
I'm the classy alcoholic.
Chut.
Negroni Timu.
Salud.
Let me ask you this. Are you guys okay?
No.
After watching this, are you okay?
No, not at all.
Dude, it was intense. So let me tell you quickly. I did not watch last night right when they came out. I actually ended up taking your wife out to a bar, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And by that, I mean she sat next to me and watched me stare at a gorgeous bartender all night. But so I came home and I was kind of tired. It was like midnight. I was like, I'll put them on, dude. Just, if I pass out, I pass out. Cut to me just fucking wide-eyed, unable to sleep. Like, I must finish. It was intense, dude.
Yeah, the reason these are going to be a little late is because I had to go into work. I got called in on Tuesday, so I didn't get to watch them Tuesday. But I came home from work at 1:15 in the morning, whatever, and I was like, all right, I'm going to watch as much as I can, and I'll finish tomorrow. Same thing. Yep. I was just like, how long is this episode? Okay.
Yeah.
You can't,
once episode 2 kicked off, I was like, I'm in it now. I cannot fucking go anywhere.
No, and then I wrote the word brutal in my notes so many times. You have no idea.
Yeah. I have an idea. I have just an idea.
So we're going to start this because we have some more comments from our favorite commenter, B38.
Our droid friend, B38.
Hey, B38.
And she always has a couple comments because she responds to the things we're wondering about. I'll just go through some of it because this is already going to be a long episode. But she starts with, hello, Shots First, Classy and Whitney. Y'all were on fire for this podcast. Nice. And then she has a quote, McDonald's of torture. And I was like, we did say that. Uh-huh. And comparing Jabba the Hutt to Harvey Weinstein, I can't unsee it.
It's low-hanging fruit, but it's hanging fruit.
And she's like, since you seem to appreciate my funny questions, I'll keep sending them, even if it only amuses Derek in private.
We love them.
Absolutely. Keep it up.
She does mention wishing she was a mixologist so she could replicate the pretty cocktails on screen, because not only is this the Star Wars that likes to fudge, they also like to get sloshed.
Yeah.
Like 5%
I appreciate
sexier,
that part.
5% sexier, 100% more alcoholic.
She had 2 questions for Whitney, who is not on the episode with us, but Whitney went and created a YouTube account just to respond to her.
That's fucking dedication.
She said, does Whitney like 5 hands? And do you think Dedra lets Cyril have a safe word? And if she does, what is it? And so Whitney responded to her and said, I definitely do like 5 hands, which is, if you don't remember, the rock, paper, scissors game with like a dragon and whatever.
Oh, no, he went Cobra.
Cobra, that's what it was. I definitely do like 5 hands, and now I must know how to play. And yes, she lets him have one safe word, but it's in a language he doesn't know, and it won't work unless he pronounces it correctly.
Oh no.
Sorry. You said Chandrillin. It's Chandrillin. I must keep begging you. It's going to be like this.
She has another one. Fun fact, I've been a big fan of Clea since season 1, and recently read an online article where in it she said she graduated drama school in 2020 and Andor is her first like TV or professional job.
Well done.
Amazing.
And she also saw, like, ever since the recasting of Bale, there's been a bunch of like fan cast stuff going around online because people are hoping this is the death of deepfake for Star Wars. So people are fan casting Clea as young Leia.
Okay. I can see that.
I mean, it's a story I don't need.
Yeah, we don't need to go back to more Leia. I mean, there is a lot of stories that were told in like Legends and stuff that they could bring back.
Sure.
I like them exploring. Yeah, I like them exploring other avenues as well, staying out of the Skywalker blood pool.
Yeah, stay out of the Skywalker blood pool. Sounds disgusting. Come on over, man. Have a dip in the Skywalker blood pool.
No. You'll never survive the Skywalker blood pool.
Are you bloody? I'm not bloody.
You will be.
I may have said this in the Rogue One episode, but what should have killed deepfakes is Dr. Sleep. That movie recast everybody from The Shining, and it looked amazing. It worked perfectly.
Yeah. I think you did mention that because that sounds familiar in my brain. Either that or you just told me once.
Like the first time I saw Rogue One and I saw the de-aging, I was like, oh man, that's super fucking cool. And then any time after that you looked at it for more than just a moment was like, ugh, that's rough. There's actually a moment in this where some CGI didn't notice last night because I was just fucking woo. But we'll get to that. It's episode 2.
She does mention the Cinta and Vel kiss, but she reminded me, and of course she goes back on why nobody remembers, but there was a lesbian kiss in Rise of Skywalker because the internet lost their fucking mind about it, but they were nobodies in the background, which is why she said it feels more like pandering to the woke crowd in that case because they're no names and who cares, you know?
Yeah, you could easily just brush it off into the background if it's bothering people instead of this is like up in your face.
I did remember that, and I ignored it like it deserved to be ignored. It was nothing. I was so excited because they legit did 2 ladies kissing in Star Wars. Now
I remember almost nothing about Rise of Skywalker except for somehow a Sith Wayfinder and Adam Driver and Rey having like a fight or a confrontation out on like a rainy ledge.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
You know what sucks though? That duel that they have is actually really fucking good. So I mean, it's buried. Moment. It's buried in a movie of absolute absurdities, MacGuffins, and red herrings. But that duel is very cool.
Well, you have to get the MacGuffin to go get the MacGuffin, dude.
Yeah. How else do you get the Trace Buster? You
got to get the Sith MacGuffin finder.
I can't wait to shit on that movie. Like, it's Sylvester Stallone and I'm a prostitute.
And then there's one more. She says, I think Andor just missed Cyril when he was on Ghorman because Cyril was on Coruscant getting debriefed by Dedra. Wink.
Like taking his briefs off?
Yeah. And she said, I don't think Andor knows who Cyril is. I think he's the axe to Cyril's tree. And I think we talked about that. I said maybe he did know at this point because Luthen knows. Then immediately I was like, oh, but Luthen doesn't tell anybody anything.
Right.
And we see here in a very tragic moment that he does not know who Cyril is.
It's one of my favorite fucking moments in Star Wars.
And she did have one last thing, which we'll get to in this episode, our episode. I think it's the second one here, but about she was saying that she foresees some plan getting fucked up because Cyril recognizes Cassian and Cassian doesn't recognize him,
right?
Which was kind of where I thought it was going, but they do something a little different. And then we got one more comment on Spotify from Drew, one of our loyal patrons.
What's up, Drew?
He just said, and it was when I posted an update about how this was going to be one big long episode and it was going to be a little later. And he just said, y'all are doing great. Been loving Andor season 2 and Han Took Shots First. I've been wanting to recommend you to do all 3 together, and I'm looking forward to it. And with your spare time, when you get going, get to Tales of the Underworld. You do 3 Andor episodes of work a week, and then go throw in 6 more where there's a ton of backstory to discuss.
I started it today, and I was like, I don't have the fucking brain space to not talk about that after I just watched it. Like, I need to get this out, and then I can put brain space back in there.
And I think maybe we do that because they are short. I looked at it. I forgot it came out. I'm not you. But then I was on looking at Andor, and I was like, oh, yeah, Tales of the Underworld. They're only like 15 minutes a piece.
Yep.
So maybe we could do like a short thing of like each of the 2 story arcs.
Because I'm pretty sure it's all going to be just Cad Bane and Massage Ventress.
It looked like it was 3 episodes of Massage and 3 episodes of Cad. Again, we'll just go through the whole thing as one big episode, but we'll start here at the beginning with episode 7, Messenger. Directed by, I'm going to say, Giannis Metz.
Yeah, that's what I get.
And he didn't direct a lot else, like a lot of these people. He did 1 episode of True Detective. He directed a movie, Borg versus McEnroe, and I'm assuming that's about the tennis player fighting space robots?
That's all it could be about. That's just all it can be. My money's on Johnny Mac, by the way.
The Borg from Star Trek fighting a tennis player.
Yeah. It's 7 of 9 versus John McEnroe.
Oh, I get it, dude. He's gonna fucking just like kick one of the Borgs off the ship into space, like 30 love, bitch.
That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's start writing the script.
I've seen worse. We'll say that.
And then it's
worse.
And it's written by Dan Gilroy, and this is for all 3 episodes. Dan Gilroy, not surprisingly, Tony Gilroy's brother. We talked about him in season 1. I think he worked on some of the Bourne stuff with Tony as well. Maybe Michael Clayton as well. I can't remember now.
Makes sense.
I do like that this one starts with the Ferrex gong as like the fade into the episode.
I
recognized that right away.
I missed that noise. I loved that hammer guy. What do you think he's doing right now? Still up there's hammering?
Yeah, someone's got a gong.
Ferrex is probably close to rubble at this point with the way the Empire's rolling through.
Oh yeah. Well, when they do with Ghorman here, I can imagine Ferrex isn't faring much better.
Ben will gong to the day he dies. That everything else, he'll be like the cockroaches after the apocalypse. He'll be fucking gonging. It does not matter.
He's standing up in that tower, and the stormtroopers keep coming up and trying to kill him, and he just keeps booting them out.
Just hammering them. We're talking about the height of the Tarkin doctrine, which is rule by force and fear and burn everything else to the ground. So the fact that Ferrex had a semi-successful revolution, small scale, mind you, still the Empire has to come through and squash that shit, dude.
Yeah, and speaking of Tarkin, B38 also reminded me after we had recorded last time, or on one of these episodes, she commented that Tarkin didn't shoot a bunch of Ghormans because we said that he landed a ship on.
He landed on them.
Yes.
You know what's funny? I thought that's what the show said, and I was like, "That's not right." Like that, my brain heard that wrong or processed it wrong.
No, I just
no. Holy
sometimes
shit.
I drink too much.
Yeah,
sometimes I keep on drinking after that.
So we'll start with the shortest of the 3 kind of threads in this episode, which is on Coruscant with Mon Mothma, and you can see like the Empire is getting a little bit more controlling over these senators. We know that her driver has been a plant from ISB.
Yeah.
But right here, he's like, oh, what's your schedule for the day? And she's like, I don't know, whatever I want, driver.
Well, they're asking.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's asking? Do you know who I am? I'm Mommy Mothma. I do what I want.
I like this guy Erskine is like, because she's like, I'm just going to request a new driver. He's like, don't. They might send someone smart.
Yeah, this is perfect for you. As an idiot.
This guy is really stupid, and it's a little bit ahead, but they asked him, like, hey, has she left yet? He's like, no. Well, maybe she found another ride. Well, she wouldn't do that. That's out of the ordinary. Does not ever think that she figured out he's a plant. Like,
yeah.
Complete moron.
Yep, which is good.
I mean, the leaves growing out of him should have given it away.
Yeah, she wouldn't have figured out. She's just a dumb girl, right?
Yeah.
The Empire on full display.
Yep. I mean, they also just have a lot of assets. They can't properly train all of them. Some of them are just going to be stinkers.
Well, and speaking of seeing the Empire the way they are, we see like a lot of this throughout these episodes. But the news here on Coruscant, they have a bunch of news clips playing, and it's like, oh yeah, the Ghorman is under blockade because there's terrorists, and we have to bring them to justice. And it's all the mainstream media like telling you what the government wants you to hear type of shit.
Yeah, they're terror riffs.
What's the space Fox News, Bantha News?
Lothwolf.
The things that Crystal Critter News, because they look like foxes from Last Jedi.
Crystal Critter, yeah, that's better than Lothwolf. The whole planet of Lothal, they're like, hey, have you seen the Lothwolf, the Loth cat, the Loth dog, the Loth bird? We just got real. Just imagine our animals were like, well, that's Earth fish. That's Earth bird. Look at Earth cat. That's a terrible.
And this ambassador guy, whose name I don't remember right now, I have it later in the notes, but the one from Ghorman, he goes up to Mon and he's talking to her about how like all this shit going on Ghorman is, I mean, for lack of an Alex Jones term, it's all false flag shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the government is doing this to make you think that this is what's going on, and you know, he's like,
He
I
would have
need your
been-
help, and she can't do anything, and he's like, hey, thanks for trying.
That Jones guy would have been right at home in this world.
Oh yeah, except for he would have been on the Empire's side. So
he thinks that he's in a galaxy-wide conspiracy. Turns out it exists.
I mean, Jade Helm sounds like a Star Wars operation.
Sure it does. I'd read that book, Star Wars Jade Helm. I could read that.
So then over on Yavin, we've now established the Rebel base because it starts with Yavin Rebel base right there.
You hear the names Dodonna and Drevin, and then we see Drevin, who I don't know if you recognize, but he's in Rogue One.
Okay, he was in Rogue One. All right. I was like, Whitney asked, she's like, was he in something else? And I was like, I think so, but I don't know. Because I'm like trying to watch and take notes. I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, he was. Okay. He's one of the ones on the radio with Andor that tells him to go kill sexy Mads Mikkelsen and shit. He's ordering bombers and stuff.
Okay.
And I think he gets into a ship at the end and goes, but I cannot remember.
But we see they're getting organized now. Willman shows up, and there's this whole speech about like, hey, you're not getting food until you go check in. Quit being assholes.
Yeah. Like, we're just seeing undisciplined, starving people.
Yeah.
We're also seeing how the rebellion is becoming more and more like the military, and people giving orders, and it's not a tight ship yet, but it's getting there.
And Andor speaks on it. We're doing these out of order, or like the things out of order, so it's fine, I think, for me to talk about this. But at one point, he's like, "Dude, Luthen's never going to show up here because of all these new faces," and he's like, "This is ridiculous." And Andor's like, "This is what we need. We need an army. Doing these being out for yourself little sting grab jobs, that don't work no more. The Empire's boot is so much bigger. We need this. Luthen's kind of wrong."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Vel and Bix talk about it later on too. I think it's this episode. Yeah. It's like, yeah, because Vel is like, we're done with Luthen and his like small time shit. Like we've got this going. So
yeah.
Well, it's not even necessarily that it's small time. It's just cloak and dagger stuff. Now we need like fucking like X-wings that tell people what we are. Like we're no longer in the shadow. We can't be in the shadows for much longer.
And it's Luthen that built this. Like I think he knows it's needed. He just can't be a part of it. He's a fucking spy master. That's his role.
Yeah, and we see them. They are using it to try to have a show of force and show that they're there. We see that at the end of this whole thing here.
Right.
But my note is Cassian looks like me after a night of sleeping wrong, because we cut to him and he's just like, and it's funny because I wrote that note last night, woke up this morning, right shoulder's all fucked up. I'm like, I was at the movies earlier just doing this, trying to stretch it out, I didn't get shot, but I'm just old and slept wrong.
Right. Yeah. My rebellion is against sleep, apparently.
And he's about to have some sexy time with Bix, but Willman interrupts.
Aw.
Cock blocking woman.
Yep.
And like he won't answer a question from Cassian. Cassian's like, "Where were you?" And he's like, "Are you ready to work yet?" you know?
He's full on Luthen and Saul. Like he's like, "I'm fucking in, dude. I drank that Kool-Aid. I sniffed that fucking pixie stick."
Yeah. I wish we would have had an opportunity to see more of his like stuff with Saw, because we saw Saw kind of saw. We
see Saw sawing the 7 Seas.
We see Saw. I don't know. We see Saw kind of turn him in the last arc, but now he's just full on over there. And I'm like, well, I wanted to see a little more of that like crazy rebel.
Maybe
woman,
we will. Maybe we'll get that. I don't think we'll see Saw again, but maybe we'll get more Wilmon's fucking antics that he picked up from him.
You don't think we'll see Saw?
I don't think we'll see Saw, but I could be wrong.
It's really funny.
At this point, Saul has all of his limbs, and in like Rogue One, he's got like the ghetto Vader suit, so we might actually just see that.
Yeah.
But this show is not like dotting all the T's and crossing all the I's. They are very much being like, bro, it's been a whole year. Figure it out. Use your imagination, and they're not shy about it. And I'm a little back and forth.
I just want to see Saw.
Oh, I agree. I'm with you, but I'm a little back and forth into how I feel about it, because I understand why they're doing this, but there's so much story that is being left, on the side.
I'm on both sides. I get it, because Classy's 100% right. Like, this is a story they're choosing to tell, but I also get why Derek is being so softish, where he wants to see more Saw. for softish reasons.
Sure.
That whole thing is just a roundabout way to get there. Sorry.
Have we got a podcast for you? Bad movies, worse people.
I mean, look, you like getting a couple beers in you, watching a bad movie, and yucking it up with your friends. That's what we're doing. We have microphones.
We have great impersonations. We have bad impersonations.
I think it might be one of the best podcasts I've ever heard.
It's the best podcast I've ever heard, fellas. And I ain't lying through my giant teeth. There's a sample.
Yes.
You can find us anywhere. Badmoviesworsepeople.com. Come check us out.
If you don't follow us, we will follow you home.
But Willman does have a line about this whole thing because he's trying to get Cassidy, and Luthen wants him for a mission, and he's like, "Look, all anybody does here is get ready," and Luthen is out there trying to make shit happen.
He's a big dick swinger.
We do finally learn that Willman was on Ghorman, and he wants Cassian to go in and assassinate Dedra.
I know you think it's revenge. This is the best. She keeps winning. And like, that's the line that got me. It was like, she keeps winning, dude. We cannot afford that.
Yeah. Yeah. She has to be stopped. Bix does take Cassian to a force healer, which this scene felt weird. And I know the force and mystical stuff is all over Star Wars, but just for Andor, this felt weird with this lady having like visions and all this stuff. Like, so, I'm not against it. I liked where it went.
Can I try and tackle what I think they were going for?
Yeah.
We saw force healing. Grogu can do it. We saw force healing where Rey could do it. I think they want to make it more established. Like, 'cause this is the first time we've seen a force healer that I can think of. You know, like maybe we've read about him and shit, but this is the first time on media that streaming or movies that we see a force healer. Also, it needs to plug in why Andor is so important to Rogue One. Instead of him just being a badass soldier, it's the Force loves this guy as much as the Force loves Han Solo, except people gravitate towards him. The rebellion needs him.
Yeah, well, he does have the line at one point, I think it's later episode, where he's like, my only skill is luck.
Yeah, and I've used it all.
Yeah, and it's not luck, it's the Force is kind of what they're setting up.
I've always said this, that the Force just loves a fool. Like, certain people don't have the Force. I mean, we find out now that everybody can. So, you know, that's a whole incorrect theory.
I'm going to give you the other side of it, the storytelling side of it that I think is why they used it. Because I was getting real nervous. Like, why the hell do we have a Force healer in Andor?
Yeah.
I think it worked just fine. But let's say it really, really Bix believes what the Force healer said. Andor does not. So it gives her the motivation to realize he's important. Doesn't matter if he thinks he is. Doesn't matter if we fucking think he is. You know, we know the ending. But in that context of that scene, Bix believes in 100%. And she does whatever she does later that we'll talk about.
And then another layer on top of that, the original trilogy, I like your theory too. And I do think it works, by the way. Like, the whole Force healer works for me. In the original trilogy, you have people like Mon Mothma, General Dodonna, all these high ups that are just like, hey, may the Force be with you. Like, that is the rebellion, are the people that still believe in the Force, that know the Jedi were wronged. So that's another layer to it, is like, look, this camp has a Force healer. It's having visions of Andor bringing everybody together.
I've kind of always wondered about that. I always figured they just did like, may the Force be with you, because the Empire is very anti any of that. Like, even though obviously the Emperor knows it exists because he's a Sith, but like, they don't want people to believe because that's hope. And
most people don't know he's a Sith. Like,
well,
I don't even think Tarkin knew.
But I mean, like, despite him being a Sith, he still wants to spread the information that that's not real.
Right.
And I don't know if even all of them necessarily 100% believe, more than they're just like, well, the Force represents hope, and so if we use this, people will be hopeful that there's something above that will help them. It's, you know, it's like, hey, God be with you, Godspeed.
I was just about to say, as an atheist, if I told a person who was really devout and they were going to do something dangerous, and I said, God be with you, they're going to love that. I'd
suicide bomb for you.
It's not for me, it's for them, because I don't believe it, but I know they do.
But you say that to me, and I'm going for you, baby. Like, you tell me that God's with me, I'm like, fuck, he meant that.
But the Force healer
really meant that.
The Force healer does have this vision of Andor, like this feeling, this aura, whatever, of like how she says most beings carry their past, and he's gathering things as he goes, and he's a messenger, and he has like a role to play. And that's like what you were saying is that's what leads Bix to really being all in on like Andor can't leave.
Right.
Because that's his whole thing here is he's like, after this, I'm out.
And she says it, she being the force healer to Bix, like, hey, he's supposed to be here. How long have you known him? She's like, I don't remember a time not knowing him. She's like, maybe you're who he's supposed to be with. And so it's in Bix's head like, oh shit, dude, it's going to be me or the rebellion.
And to follow up on what it said, like everything the force healer said could have been straight up bullshit. But Bix believes it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you say like it could be bullshit, Andor exactly thinks what it is. It's like, you set me up. What did you fucking tell her to make her walk over there and come like single me out? Bullshit.
Yeah.
I know I grew up on the main streets of Ferrix and Coruscant.
Yeah. So he leaves on he goes to take a personal day. That's what he tells leisurely
stroll in the U-Wing.
Sure, but he takes the company car, which, come on, motherfucker. Like, you can't personally, you can't take the company car. You can't sign it out. Other people need it.
You know that he brought this fucking thing. You know this is his score.
That's true. That's true.
Look, I'm just going out with the company car and one of your best soldiers. We're going to have a personal day. Nothing could possibly happen while we're gone.
Yeah.
And I'm claiming mileage when I get back. I need to be reimbursed for that shit. I'm taking the fuel card and I'm tracking the mileage. Just say.
Fuck yeah.
One credit per mile.
Do you pay by the parsec?
The fucking rebellion is probably like, fucking 5 cents on the parsec.
It was 10 cents when I was a partisan.
You just get an extra spoonful of gruel.
And a pizza party. Cut the slices thin.
Little Caesars for the reception.
They must go around the pies.
Don't burn those pies. They're for the reception.
Now it's pies for the rebellion. Tell them I appreciate what they're doing. I'm not going to join them, but big ups.
We do have that little meeting of Vel and Bix. It's nice to show that like Vel, because we are cutting forward a year, but she's still having trouble processing what's going on. It's just nice to show like actual character movement and development, because her whole thing is like, I've been out smuggling, but I need to take a break because I've been getting a little reckless. Like, I've been getting a little suicidal. Like, yeah, I did write down those names, Draven and Dodonna, because I was like, these both sound familiar, and Jack will know.
So Draven is the one that we see here. Dodonna is the one that I think we've seen him since the original trilogy, but in the original trilogy, he's just an old he's got a great big bushy beard. Okay. He's an old white-haired silver fucking, not fox, more of a silver orangutan.
But the big thing here is just Vel being like, dude, we're not Luthen's puppets anymore. Cassian is leader. We need him here. He can't leave. And it's Bix's faith, which goes back into this force thing. She's like, he'll be there when you need him, which is what she was saying the last time, too. He's always there when I need him. Yeah.
Always has been.
Pretty much the end of Yavin for this arc, or this part of the thing.
Super cool to see it set up. I mean, we are now maybe 2 years from Rogue One, or 1 year.
Yeah, it's 2 BBY.
Yeah, so we are 2 years away from Rogue One, essentially.
I was really impressed that they set up Yavin very, very, I guess, subtly in that first arc, and we thought, all these people are going to come back, these weird little mercenaries, whoever the hell they are. They don't actually matter. That was an important story, but 2 years later, who gives a shit? You know, they're back on Yavin. Andor was like, all right, yes, there's some lost dudes. They killed Porco, R.I.P. Porco. I'm still sad
Rest
we didn't
in
get
peace,
a Porco,
man.
If somebody has to make a Porco action figure, like put him in a comic book somewhere else. I want to know what Porco looks like. He's got to be
I need that Porco origin story.
I'll buy a Porco comic book.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll buy a Porco Lego.
Yeah.
What is it? The Diamond series, Black series? What's that?
Black series.
Yeah,
with the helmets and just a Porco head.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'll put them on my casting couch back here.
You can take the head off and switch it on for one that has a hole in it.
If anybody sees a Saw Gerrera that's about the size of Vader, let me know. I'm gonna sit him right next to him. That wild ass hair.
I thought you just wanted it to cuddle with.
On that note, if you're just listening to the audio, you're missing out on the YouTube and the Spotify visuals. Please check it out and comment on YouTube, please. Any questions or hate comments?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love hate comments.
Yeah, if you watch it, you can see my Star Wars cameo right behind me here that I'm pointing at.
I want to see the baby.
So yeah, the rest of this episode and the next episode are all on Ghorman. We basically on this one, there's a lot of setup in this one, but it's setting up that like the rebellion there, the Ghorman front has kicked into high gear.
So they think.
Well, they are doing more, but the leader guy, whose name I can't remember, is still trying to keep them peaceful. But then there's other factions within that are like, this isn't going to fly anymore. This is very much, not to compare it to something that's much more serious and real, but like it's very much like the older guy here is Martin Luther King and the younger one is Malcolm X. Like, no, this peaceful shit ain't gonna work. We got to fuck these dudes up.
That's a great call in that parallel. I think that's a well contrasted thing.
Well, all of this is based on like real serious shit that happened. Tony Gilroy himself said, the French Revolution was a guide for this little area, this part of the Ghorman massacre.
I could feel that.
Yeah, Jack mentioned that last time.
Yeah, he said that in the Mark Maron podcast, he said he's using everything he's learned about history, revolutions, all that, fascism. That he just likes reading. So that's why the show is so authentic.
This we're coming up here soon to some of the most violent and dark, brutal times that we've ever seen in Star Wars, and they do it with minimal blood.
Yeah, and things that I shouldn't be laughing at, but I definitely was.
Well, that's because you're a monster.
Well, they involve the KX units, and
I know exactly what part you're going to laugh at.
It's horrific, but it's also really funny.
That's the moment I was talking about the CGI too.
But like, so the Empire at this point is kind of like they're doing, again, for lack of a better term, false flag shit. They're blowing up their own facilities and doing all this stuff to make people think the rebellion is getting worse. And we meet this guy, Captain Kaido, which my phone kept wanting to correct to Kato, and I was like, this is not the Green Hornet. So
good job, Kato.
I kept correcting to Kano from Mortal Kombat.
If I kept notes, mine would have been Keto.
But this guy Jonjo O'Neill, which I just want to mention because that's a sweet name. Jonjo, not John. Joe.
Hey, Jonjo there. Jonjo O'Neill, pleasure to fucking meet you. You need me to do a bit of acting, do you? You don't need to pretend to be the good guy or the bad guy. I can go either way, just like your mother. Jonjo O'Neill here.
Oh no, this Ghorman massacre was so brutal. I'd spill me pointing his Space Guinness.
But he played Alistair Crowley apparently in the Pennyworth series. When I saw that, I was like, well, I never watched that. I never felt it needed to. But now I want to know why Alistair Crowley is in the origin story of Batman's butler.
Yeah.
So I kind of got to go back and watch that.
Is he the one we're talking about, the guy with the scar, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the head
such
military guy here.
Deep German thing. Do you know about those German scars?
No.
You don't get them in a way you think. It's like I can't. Is it Messerschmitt? It's a very German word. I'll go real quick. Basically, you put on these glasses so like you can't get your eyes injured, and you swing swords at each other. But if you move or duck, I think they're blinded, so you're just like swinging wildly. So if you move or duck, you're a big fucking bitch in the German eyes. And if you have a scar to show, then everyone's like, "Oh man, look, that guy didn't flinch once." So you have a lot of these higher up generals and officers because it's a high society thing. They even went to fucking underground, like it's got outlawed, and people were doing it in fucking like fraternities of colleges. Wild. And now after what fucking Classy said, Tony Gilroy probably knows all about that.
Yeah.
100%. No question. Yeah.
He was also in the movie Defiance, which I assume you saw, Jack, because it's World War II.
Defiance. Is that with Daniel Craig?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I don't know. I just noticed that, and I was like, well, Jack probably saw it. I don't know.
I did. It's good. It's not bad. It's like it's the Jewish resistance that like just fucking went into the woods and were fucking with the Nazis as much as they could. Being a fucking young, scrappy rebellion.
Basically, the whole thing here is like the ISB is trying to make this mission successful because they will become indispensable to the Emperor because people are trying to get rid of them. And Kaido will be there to be in charge of the military operation, but Dedra is still supposedly in charge of the whole thing.
You know who he is? He's the wolf. He's the wolf from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay.
Harvey Keitel. Like that's what this guy is. Like, hey, look, I'm not in charge. I'm just here to make sure you get shit done. That's it. You're in charge, but I'm also going to be doing the logistics. You're in charge.
Well, because he even says later, he's like, I'm the trigger, you're the finger. But like when it comes down to everything happening in the next episode, she's got to give the order, but he's already ready. Everything's ready to go. Like,
yeah. It's his way. I just need you to have that fucking final say, apparently.
I need you to be responsible for it in case anything goes wrong.
There it is.
So this is kind of embarrassing because I never actually realized what ISB stands for, and also what it is. Is it like the CIA of the Empire, guys?
I would say more FBI.
Okay.
It's the Imperial Security Bureau.
Okay.
Right? I'm pretty sure that's exactly.
I think it's kind of a combination. It's like CIA, FBI, NSA. It's your classic TLA organization.
Yeah, your 3-letter acronym.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Men in Black, things like that.
The KKK.
I mean,
sorry. Did you say government operated?
Yeah.
It'd be weird if there was like officials in the KKK. That would be fucking strange.
Yeah, senators or the president's
sheriffs,
advisors.
That'd
be weird. Good thing America's not like that.
Glad this is a fictional sci-fi show.
God, I wish.
Cyril is disheveled looking throughout this episode.
It's weighing on him.
Yeah, everything, because you can see they don't go really into it, but it's a lot of implied stuff that's just, if you're paying attention, it all comes through. Like, he's figuring out that something else is going on besides what they told him was going on, and he's not too happy about it. It's basically
not
the best
at
way
all.
to put that. He goes to Dedra and he's talking to her and he's like, "Did you need to tell me what the fuck's going on?" And she's like, "I wouldn't worry about it. We'll be rewarded." And he's like,
ready to leave.
What?
Get ready to leave. This is going to be good things. Just shut up. Here, come here. Kiss me real quick. All right, you feel better? I kissed you. I showed public.
Yeah, so we went from our first lesbian kiss to our first S&M kiss. That's really interesting.
That is very much just like a secret sex. As somebody who's banged coworkers and married chicks who are coworkers, like the secret makeout when nobody's looking. That's just hot as fuck. So,
got me going right now.
But also, God, that looked awkward when they did it. Holy shit, it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
But goddamn, that looked like just.
I mean, these actors are
fish being smacked against each other.
Have you seen interviews with these actors?
I haven't. No.
I suggest don't do it until after the series is over because they're just different and it will kind of might ruin the illusion. But I just gotta say they're tremendous at their fucking jobs.
They're just they're just like the sweetest people in the world. Cyril is like Robin Williams, and
we were on set and she did this thing. Pull my finger.
Well, I looked up a picture of the actor because I was trying to find what the actor's name is, and I just happened to Google image search. And in some pictures, he's got a beard, he's got like waver. He's a handsome motherfucker. He's a good looking man.
Yeah,
and he just looks so weaselly as Cyril Carton. He's great.
We had said that it's a show of babes, but not hunks. Dude, right. Let him grow that hair and that beard out, and he's hunky.
100%. But then that would ruin the character. So let's not do that.
You're right.
We do see that the Ghorman front has grown here. That dude that's made from AI from the earlier arc is with them now. They have a lot more members.
Your wife Whitney had called. She's like, "Let him in. He looks like he'd be down for this shit."
Yeah. Also, he looks like he's built like a fucking brick shithouse. They could throw these soldiers around.
Yeah, he's a fucking Lord of the Rings dwarf that's like 5'9".
I think that dude could box one of these KX units.
Oh my God. Classy. If we could AI that shit, your podcast could handle a Ghorman versus a KX unit.
I could do a whole episode. I could do like a whole series, like 2 episodes worth of Ghorman versus KX, and then how would he do it? How would he move? The KX is tall and very awkward, but when you're bigger, you're slower, and if you're shorter, but you also can get on the inside. Man, I'd have a field day. Fuck.
Well, it's like watching World WWE. You got like a big dude like the Undertaker or the Big Show, and he's fighting some little like Rey Mysterio, Matt Hardy or whatever the Hardy brothers. Rey Mysterio. They're doing flips and trying to take him down, and the big guy's just like raw.
Quick time to plug Classy's podcast since we're talking about boxing on a podcast.
The Mixed Company podcast, available on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. It's about professional boxing, the only sport I've ever cared about.
Rate, subscribe, 5-star, do it all.
Leave a subscribe, leave a 5-star review. You don't have to listen, but listen, like play it for 10 minutes in the background just so we can, get the stats, juke the stats.
Yeah, gotta pump those rookie numbers up. We do the same thing. I have like 8 phones going in my room right now, just listening to our podcast. Awesome. If that helps, I'll do it.
He's spending so much money on phones to not make any money.
For $3 a month, you can get another phone in my room.
Dude, this monetization on YouTube is crazy. It's like you need 5,000 subscribers and 10,000 hours of views. I'm like, well, that ain't ever happening. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have 10,000 phones.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I do like that buff AI dude is like, look, I don't give a shit if you guys fight or lay rose petals in the streets. We need to do something. And that's a good line. Like, I don't care if you fight or lay rose petals in the streets.
Yeah.
Like,
I do really enjoy him because he's like, look at what we're fucking doing. Like, they poisoned us and they're just laughing like they're in the room with us. We've turned against each other. The first thing that we are is we are gore.
yeah.
Like, don't fucking fight each other. Figure it out. Rose petals or bullets, I don't care, but let's do it.
We're not Ghorman. We're Ghormen.
We're gore men. We got to be gore manly.
Yeah. And Gore ladies.
And the gore people.
And we do see the Imperials bringing in more troops, but like Dedra comments, she's like, these are fucking children. Like, what are we doing? And we end up seeing why.
I love the not the Scarface dude, but little mustache guy. Because Scarface Bloy. God, what a good fucking Imperial officer name. Bloy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. So yeah, Scarface tells him, he's like, all right, get the men going. He's like, there's not a man among them, sir. And he's like, if you're gonna have a problem, he's like, nope, understood. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
He doesn't give him the like, I am sick of your shit, man. Just do your job.
You know with Scarface, don't fucking piss him off. You're gonna end up in a trash compactor of the Dianoga.
Cassian and Willman show up. They're planning this assassination of Dedra. This is where we get Jack's name for our thing here on the video if you're watching, because they have their little toast to each other. It's like Ferrex, Stone and Sky.
Stone and Sky. And I'm stoned and high. I don't know the difference.
But he's oh god, I didn't get the name. Cassian's cover this time is like something Guja.
Yeah,
because nobody can pronounce it. Everybody's like Goo, and he's like Guja.
Nadja, not gonna work here anymore. I'll tell you that.
And he works for the Mid-Rim News.
Ooh,
Never
it's a
heard of
mid-rim
it.
job.
Where's your job? God damn it.
It's only because you were buffering.
Yeah, exactly. I love the line. It's like, we haven't heard of you. And he's like, that's what we're trying to change. As 3 dudes with shitty podcasts that no one listens to. I felt that.
Hey, I've never heard of you. Oh, we're trying to change that, though.
Yeah, man. I know that.
I got like 4 phones going now.
Yeah.
By the way, you have heard of us. I just told you. Like and subscribe.
So here's the thing that makes me like, just again, love how smart the show is. He's going back to Ghorman. You think he was there a year ago. He was a fashion designer. He's got his cover. He's just going to do the same thing again. I was like, wait a second. Why not? Oh, because now it's like strife, violence, insurrectionists. Those luxuries are gone.
You wouldn't be there buying material.
He's a war reporter, and that makes more sense a year later with what's going on in Ghorman. Fucking phenomenal. Brilliant.
And his personality change is great. He's like, oh, we're trying to change that. You know, it's just a little bit disarmed. It's there's something non-confrontational about him that just people kind of shoo through the system.
And speaking of his last visit to Ghorman, this kid working the desk was the bellboy on the last episode, and he recognizes Cassian instantly. Doesn't sell him out.
It's probably because he has the biggest eyes in the galaxy. Dude, eyes are
speaking of AI generated,
huge. My God, like somebody fucking turned Smeagol into a human. He's just got these big old fucking precious eyes.
I see everything.
I recognize you. Oh man,
but not big enough to see you and snitch on you.
Yeah.
But
well, his eyes are as big as his heart.
I like that he doesn't have like this imperial stamp on his credentials or whatever. And so this lady's like, well, we're going to have to report you. But then the next day, the kid's like, yeah, I didn't even check you in, dude. Don't worry about it.
There's nothing to they have like a little back and forth. And he's like, I hope your life gets better, man. He's like, rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah. Well, and he's going up to when he's going up to the room, he's like, "Hey, by the way," to let him know, he's like, "You're gonna have to carry your own bags this time. You know the way."
Yeah.
Cassian's like, "Oh fuck,
I know who you are."
Well, because even when he said he's like, I got a room with the front room with like a view to the plaza. He's like, oh, goody. And he's like, not everybody feels that way, man. It gets kind of loud, all the mass shootings. Tarkin was here not too long ago, just landed on people. You should have heard the screams. My God.
Wait, did Mid-Rim City News not report on this? Man, your paper sucks shit.
They were actually on Tarkin's ship.
Yeah.
Well, and we see that Cassian has Jack's suitcase. There's some clothes in it, but behind all the clothes are perfect little cutouts for 1,000 different guns. Actually, it's one big gun and then like 2 smaller guns. But
yeah, I think his blaster's in there, and then this sniper that you can configure. I was just fucking rock hard there, dude. This was doing it for me. Like I could watch Diego Luna put a weapon together for fucking hours.
Well, good thing, because he puts it together and then immediately takes it apart and then puts it back together in the next episode. So.
Yeah, because he knew I was about to come.
But his room does face the Imperial offices, which is on this terrace, is where Dedrick comes out all the time. So he's going to try to get his shot there. And there's troopers on the roof, so he's trying to figure that out. I like his little mirror he goes old school here. Yeah, he's like, because he opens the door and hears voices and just pops a little fucking mirror out the thing, and instead of trying to look up some lady's skirt like Pee Wee Herman in his first comedy special, he's looking up at the ceiling or up the roof.
This is kind of reminiscent of who's the dude that got crushed in the first one on the heist? He had the manifesto. Marin. Anyway, he had a whole speech about, and he wasn't talking about this low technology, but he was talking about like how low technology can get past the Empire because we can work on this, and they can't trace that. Can't trace a mirror. If he would have sent some little droid out there to look for him, people are like, huh, that's a little fucking spy droid. So it's perfect. Yeah.
It looks like a gore fly.
It's a gore fly, dude. Watch out for the gore bees.
And that's the end of that first episode.
Yep.
Good. This one was shorter, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, this one was only 37 minutes.
Oh, 37. Okay.
And that's with the long credits and everything. So it was probably about 30.
Which, I mean, it's good because I needed this to be a moment for me to start catching my breath. Like because I'm about to be breathless. So this was a good ease into it. If it would have started with just action and massacre, I would have been like, whoa. Wasn't ready.
So we go into Who Are You? Episode 8. Ooh. And I didn't write this down for the other one, but I just noticed when I was on IMDb looking up some people, this one on IMDb at this point, which is only 24 hours later, I got a 9.9 on there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's the highest rating I've ever seen of anything on anything ever.
This is really good fucking show. This is really good television, if I can call it that. This is really good. This is amazing Star Wars. I don't think you need to know anything except for season 1 of Andor to enjoy this.
I mean, I don't even know, unless you're really concerned with who everybody is, you could drop in and just watch this episode and be like, God damn.
I guess
what the fuck is Star Wars doing?
Yeah.
I'm still pissed at the 0.10% of people. You fucking cowards. You losers. You have terrible tastes.
We were this close. What's Krennic say in Rogue One? We were this close to perfection or something like that.
Well, those are just people who gave it a 9.5 and it fucked up the average.
Those are the couple people that didn't like the lesbian kiss. They're like, this show is 9 out of 10, but I did see 2 chicks kiss, and I don't know, man. I'm in my mom's basement, so it's really weird if I get a boner because my mom can hear me fapping through the vents.
Who could ever enjoy seeing 2 beautiful women kiss? That's weird.
She heard me fapping when I was talking shit about the Acolyte online. She heard that shit from the next door neighbors. Heard that shit.
What's going on down there, Cyril? Are you fapping? Oh no, I can hear it. It's like someone stroking a big tube of mayo.
Shout out to Cyril's mom last episode. We didn't mention she shows up, not a word, but she's still alive. I was like,
yeah.
I've been waiting, is she gonna die in between the batch of episodes?
Weird thing for me to say. I see her and I think of Classy. I'm like, oh, Classy's watching this right now at the same time I'm watching it. It's like looking at the same moon.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
Best Star Wars
romantic.
character ever. I will buy a fucking Cyril Small action figure. I'm not even kidding. I'll buy the T-shirt. I'll buy the comic. 100%.
I might be able to turn Yoda into her.
Oh,
You just need a wig,
cheers to that. Yeah.
Cheers.
a wig, and a disdainful face.
It's halfway there.
But yeah, so I mean, this one's all on Ghorman, and it starts with Andor setting up for his assassination. The soldiers are pulling in these barricades.
Take a breath and get ready for a ride.
And I mean, I'm not going to go, we can't go through everything step by step. Like, this is something you should just watch, but hopefully you've watched it if you're listening to
But
us
I
talk
do
about
want
it,
to
so.
bring up, I think I'm going to steal Classy's word. I think the most brutal part of this, is the fact that they're like, all right, where go? Dedra says the word, and a fucking Imperial sniper takes out one of the fucking riot police young boys. And, what's his name? Boyle?
Bloy.
Bloy. I had the letters right. Bloy's like, get him out of here and open fire.
Yeah.
Like the Empire just took out some of their own people.
Yeah.
Actually, but before we get into the actual like Merkin motherfuckers, I did write a couple of lines that people were saying. So they called this an inexplicable resistance to Imperial norms. Like, that's the crime. The resistance to Imperial norms, which fucking just drove me.
It's totally normal that we lock down your city and, imprison you people and put a curfew in place for no reason, apparently.
You're acting like a bunch of brats.
Right. And when the crowd comes in, they're chanting, they're singing their national anthem. One of the Crystal Critter news reporters says into the camera, this is a highly volatile insurrection. Like, they haven't done shit.
Well, so here's the problem with that. I just figured this out. They didn't have it's not catchy enough. You know what they needed? In the crowd pops up J.K. Simmons. We are Ghorman. Bum 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 bum. Now all of a sudden the whole fucking galaxy's on your side. Everyone's we are Ghorman. Bum 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 bum.
I'm sorry. I thought you were making a J. Jonah Jameson joke where he comes up and like, these Ghormans are out there. They're evil. They're going to ruin your city. We're going to destroy this town.
These Ghormans are a menace. I will pay you $5 for a picture of a beat up Ghorman.
Cassian and her foe.
But there is like these rumors.
Get me pictures of Luthen.
Well, I'd pay for those.
There are these rumors that the Empire is bringing in mining equipment, and I mean, obviously they're true.
They're not rumors.
They're the rumors going around the city, and Dedra brings it up to Partagaz on one of their FaceTime calls, and he's like, "Yeah, we're done with the local rumors. All that matters right now is Ghorman aggression. Like, don't worry about what they're saying. Just focus on what they're doing."
Twice in this, he says, like, they meet up once, and he's like, "Hey, you seem a little animated today." And then the other one, he's like, calmly. It's like me running out, like, if I hear the ice cream truck and I'm 8 years old, I'm running inside to my mom trying to ask, like, for a fucking $1. And she's like, calmly, Jack, calmly.
It's also like, treating a woman at work like she's hysterical, which is just like, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, lady.
Hey, whoa, you're coming at me a little hot, Dedra.
I do like the part where this guy goes to Cyril and he's like, "Hey, all Imperial employees have to report to the IOC building, but the only one who seems to have to go is Cyril." And I think it's Dedra. Dedra's trying to keep him safe because she knows what's about to go down.
Yep.
Someone does say, one of the Ghorman front people says it's a trap. And I can't in Star Wars, I can't ever hear someone say it's a trap.
The word trap is damn near ruined.
I wrote it down. I circled it for that reason.
Have I ever told you about when I was in New Orleans and I went to this little bar and they had a sign hanging on the wall and it was Admiral Akbar holding like a Belgian style beer glass and it said, "It's a trap, Bist Ale."
That's awesome. I always wanted to open Admiral Snack Bar. I'm like, it's a snack.
I've never actually told you guys, but I went to one of those Phoenix knockoff Comic Cons, like Phoenix Fan Fest or whatever it was, like several years ago, and the actor who did the puppeteering for Admiral Akbar was there. I went to his panel and I asked him if he had trouble finding work with the increased use of CGI, and he said absolutely, fuck yeah. Like it was awful for a while. So I don't think I mentioned I got to talk to the guy.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And bummer he's struggling for work because that puppet looks awesome.
Well, he's really struggling now because he's fucking dead. Arrested pictures. But
well, he's not struggling.
Yeah, not struggling actually. Yeah, but no, he.
If I find out that I have to struggle when I'm dead, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
I've been doing enough of that in life.
Yeah, I'm good.
Exactly. I want to rest.
The Ghormans all get together. They have their protest. Their first chant is in English or basic. The subtitles said English, but basic.
Yeah, it's basic.
We are the Ghor. The galaxy is watching. Karn is trying to get to the building, and the leader of the Ghorman front there, or the former leader, the older guy,
the older German actor,
Rylance, I think it is.
Rylance, yes,
Rylance.
thank you. He's like, what the fuck? You dare to walk our streets right now? Like, we know that you betrayed us.
Cyril not playing innocent. He's like, no, look, we're actually just looking for outside agitators. This guy's like, how fucking dare you? How dare you say that to me right now? You set us up. We were a little baby rebellion, and you fucking nursed us, and you fed us, and you got us all fat and happy. Now you're going to slaughter us. Take this pig to market.
Cassian is leaving, and this is when the desk guy says, like, rebellions are built on hope. And Cassian gives him a look like, did you watch the other season? Or
Wait, did you watch the movie that hasn't happened yet?
Was that from Rogue One, or was that from season 1?
I don't remember if they said it in
from
season 1. They 100% said it in Rogue One. I can't remember if it was previous season.
I think it's from almost everything that they've done since Disney grabbed it.
I just thought about it. So it was probably just in Rogue One. This desk dude says it to Cassian, and he looked at him like, oh, I'm stealing that.
Ooh, that's a good line. Rebellions are built on, what was the last? Hope. Rebellions are built on hope.
Put that in an envelope and mail it to myself.
The desk guy was in the back, like pulling the VHS out like Spaceballs. He's like, oh, let me rewind. What's happening now is happening now, Cassian. We're in
Where are we? We are now.
No.
There is a moment where Karn and Cassian walk right past each other in all of this hubbub.
So tense. Yep. Like my heart was fucking pounding, man. I was like gripping the couch.
Child.
The Empire is flying TIE fighters over this whole thing,
which is
the
terrifying.
News is talking about, like Classy said, how this is a volatile insurgency, even though it's just a bunch of people chanting.
I want to talk real briefly about the TIE fighters, because like them ripping overhead with like my surround sound, I'm sure you guys had yours cranked as well, was awesome. And it shows like we often just see TIE fighters as disposable because we see them just get fucked up in battles all the time. But if you were on this planet, sit like this ripped over you, you'd be pooping a little.
I think I've asked you before about the noise, and that's what you said. It's all about intimidation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not all, but yeah. Is that Senard?
They're like, we could put a muffler on this thing, but it's a lot scarier if we don't.
Why?
Well, it reminded me of the previous season in Aldani when they were in the woods or the mountains. And just one TIE fighter was terrifying. Just like it looked huge, the scale of it. Everybody was like fucking scramble, hide the weapons. One TIE fighter, not an armada.
And I think they're
shitting.
I just think they're an easy whipping boy. But then we see shit like this and that. It's like, oh yeah, no, it would still scare me.
Well, against a bunch of random civilians and not people in also armored ships with lasers on them.
Each one of these noises you hear, it's like, oh, is that going to be a TIE bomber? Are they just going to wipe us out?
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing too. You know,
they're going to keep landing on us.
The jokes have been made about like stormtroopers can't aim. You shoot them, their armor doesn't do shit. Blah blah blah. But this show shows them as fucking terrifying. There's riot police and stormtroopers, and it's fucking terrifying.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess this only when they're fighting people who are blessed by the Force can they not hit anything.
Well, it's
the Force curving those lasers.
Exactly.
Like Wanted, but the wrong way.
The Force is Angelina Jolie. You heard it here first.
She's blessed by it,
Karn does. Sorry.
Oh no, we almost killed Derek.
Karn does get like shuffled into this room full of these KX units. I didn't know what they were called at first, so I just wrote K2SO guys.
Yeah. I would have been fine with you calling it K2s, but it's a KX.
But there is that one that's just like they all look up at him and then look down, but that one just keeps staring at Karn.
Terrifying dead eyes.
Yeah, but in my head I was like, is that going to be the K2SO?
Yeah, he's the ornery one.
Kaido orders all the exits closed so nobody can leave this protest. The stormtroopers come in and surround the whole thing.
It's fucking Bronx Tale, dude. Just now you can't leave.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the shot from the trailer with the stormtroopers marching down the stairs. That was like, oh, some shit's going to go down. Well, it is.
They are shock and awe.
We do see the rebels in the audience, like some of them passing out. And I wrote down bombs ? They're like Molotov cocktails is what they're passing out.
Yeah.
Ghorman grenades.
But the AI guy starts. I wish I knew this guy's name and didn't just call him AI man. But.
It's so it's Buff AI, so it's Buffia.
I think it's like
Buffet.
Fens or Fenson or something like that.
They all have a Z in their name, which is
Sister
cool, pretty cool planet.
I think it's Fenson or something like that.
But like he starts singing this Ghorman like national anthem basically, and that gets everybody doing that, and that actually is worse than the crowd chanting for tension in this episode.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, they're singing this peaceful song about how they're like Ghorman and they love their planet and they have valleys and the whatever, and like that's not going to end well.
Back to season 1, that fucking Ferrex fight started off with a marching band.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Empire's like, we've seen this before. When they start playing their music, they get real fucking proud.
Well, I don't think. I mean, none of the guys who were on that planet made it except for Karn, right? So,
yeah,
pretty sure Brazo killed them all with bricks.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there was those ones thrown off the clock tower by our gong guy.
And Brazo just bricked him just in case too.
Just walk by. That counts as mine.
I saw him twitch.
He was getting up. He's going for his blaster.
They do march out. Oh, go ahead.
Brazo with a Z, it means arm in Spanish. So I hear Brazo, I just think like the dude that is named after the giant fucking arms he has. Like I didn't say that in the last one, but I was like, yeah, he would be a Brazo because that motherfucker was beefy. Absolutely, man.
Justice for Brazo.
They march out these like young troops to secure the memorial, which is like, dude, this is a. And again, if you don't know what's going on, we could see where it's going. The uppers know where it's going, but these little soldiers, like, yeah, we have to go out there and secure the memorial during this. Like, they're chanting and singing about their planet. This seems like a bad idea, boss. Should we be doing this? Or
absolutely, shut up and get in there. You see this scar on my face? I didn't get this scar for making bad choices.
Hey, boss. Are you sure it's a good idea? We should be doing this. No, this is my first day. I'm 16.
I think I saw one of those Ghorman have a bottle of spotchka with like a piece of cloth in it, and he was gonna light it. I don't know, man.
Hey, boss, I thought you got your badass scar eating pineapple.
Well,
call me bad at cunnilingus. It'd be much easier to get a scar from trying to eat a pineapple than eating pussy. I'm sorry. Like I don't. That's never. It's spiky. It's pokey.
Yeah.
Well, this is heavy, man. Something wrong with the gravity on Ghorman? Sorry. That voice just gives me Michael J. Fox.
It's heavy, man.
But yeah, Cyril goes and confronts Dedra, and he's like, dude, stop lying to me. How long have you known what's going on? And he fucking loses it with her. Yeah, he starts choking her for the first time ever.
Is Cyril Karn going to have to choke a bitch?
And I love his line, because he's like, if you fucking say that it's just a rumor, I'm going to throw you out the fucking window.
I believed him.
And she knows that this is the breaking point because she's been with him for 2 years now, at least.
He's not
3
pure
years.
evil. Like, he's a bootlicker, but he doesn't want it this way.
That's something I took note of, and it's in a little bit here, but we'll talk about it. Like, when everything starts going down, we see all sides of the Imperial forces, just like in real life, when people talk about the Nazis or whatever, it's like there's the people who are pure evil, who enjoy what they're doing. Yeah. That's Kaido. There's the people who are just following orders, quote unquote, which is Dedra, but it's like, what you're doing is wrong, but it's your orders, so you're going to do it anyway. And then there's the people who are like, what the fuck are we even doing? Like, they did believe in this until they saw the dark side of it, and that's Cyril. Mm-hmm. Like, he's been full on bootlicking Imperial, but he never saw the depths of how bad it got until now.
Even Dedra at the end of this will have a moment of humanity, I guess I'll call it, because I can't think of a better word. Remorse, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Now, my thing is like I was kind of going back and forth on why does Cyril care so much? I mean, again, it's been a year. He might have actually developed some conscience and some empathy, but
Sure.
part of me was also thinking, was he also, because he is such a dyed-in-the-wool Imperial guy, is he just pissed that he was lied to and left out by Dedra and the Empire?
Probably.
I don't know. I mean,
I do think that he does get to know these people in a way. He obviously doesn't think what they're doing is right, but he's been lied to about this greater goal. Like, hey, I thought we were trying to catch rebels, babe. That was our whole thing.
I mean, that's a part of it, but like when everything starts going down and he's in the middle of the melee, you can see him standing there with that like he's dumbstruck by he's like, wait, the empire that I believe in, the empire that I think is right can do all this, because he hasn't seen any of that. He's mostly been on these like backwaters and he's been dealing with some of the hierarchical bullshit, but like he's never seen like the pure evil of what they are willing to do.
he's been in a lot of offices. That is true. I spent a lot of time in offices, so that does make sense.
But she does spill the beans to him, and she does kind of call him out because she's like, dude, we're going to go home as heroes. And, it didn't really seem like you minded when you were getting promotions.
Yeah.
And I mean, part of that, and that kind of speaks to what I think is, it goes into what we were just talking about, is like, he's finally realizing how bad everything is. But I think if he paid more attention, he could have known, but he was pretending to be unaware. He was turning a blind eye. Like, he's like, that seems a little weird. You know what? I'm imagining things. Let me just look away from that real quick.
He was on Ferrix though. Like, he did see what went down at the end of season 1. So,
and he didn't deal with that very well either.
Right. So, but
in that case,
go ahead.
In that case,
he saved his dummy mommy.
But they were having the people they were fighting. It wasn't just. I mean, I guess the beginning of the fight was that, but like up until the beginning of the whole fight, it was like, well, these people are being violent against us. And then when the fight happens, but I mean, one of them, it was Willman, right, who started the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, oh, they fired on us. But in this case, he's like, he can see, he's like, no, this is us setting off. This happened on Ferrix, but this time we started it and we're pretending it's them.
We set them up.
Yeah.
Right, that's true. And then they were like, they had a presence on Ferrix, but this presence in Ghorman was only meant to instill, to lead.
There was no rebel or rebellion or resistance. I mean, there was like these little fucking political pockets that they argued and fisted each other apparently. But besides that, there was nothing here. Like, they had no weapons. They weren't militarized until the Empire militarized them.
Well, and the Ferrix thing also is what I was talking about, where he like turns a blind eye to what exactly, like, he saw what happened, but he's like, well, no, they started it. And he's able to twist it in his head to be like, no, the Empire isn't bad. They started it and we were finishing it.
This is Andor's doing. That whole thing was Andor's fault.
In this case, he clearly sees that it's not, like, these people were singing a fucking song right up until the moment this started.
Well, and also, too, another thing, just to this will be the last thing I say on it, but the show definitely, whatever it looks like or however it's presented or how we take it, the show wants you to know that Ghorman is way worse than Ferrix. That is true. Like, this is miles worse than anything that happened over there.
Yeah.
Big facts.
That's right.
Well, and because Ferrix, again, came down to trying to quell some sort of rebellious cell that was building up, versus this, which is just like, well, we have to kill these people so we can also kill their planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can turn this place into Krypton.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna strip this thing down.
But yeah, Kaido is like, hey, I need my orders to Dedra, and she's like, okay. So the sniper's in place, like Jack talked about, shoots one of the Imperial.
Yeah, I jumped the gun because it just like it was a very lasting thing for me. Like, you just firing on your own fucking dudes.
And I was waiting because the sniper's up there, and I was like, okay. My first thought was he's going to shoot one of their own people.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, maybe he just shoots someone in the crowd to make the crowd start shooting at the Imperials. But they skipped that step. They're like, we don't want to take a chance that they don't shoot.
Well, they have news cameras too. So that now there's some perfectly placed little camera bot droid is going to be just having a shot of that guy getting killed. Like, look, they fucking started it. We have evidence.
Also, there's not a lot of guns in the crowd. If you notice the people on the sides that are shooting, it's like a handful of people. It's not like an armed insurrection. Like,
it's the actual Ghorman front people. The rest of these people are just the local civilians who are there to protest. But there's going to be some fucking dude on the VidNet or whatever that like takes that video back, and he's like, okay, but you see the bullet didn't come from here, it came from here. I think there was a second shooter.
It's up high. See, so it's coming down.
So there had to have been a shooter on the Ghorman Knoll.
That actually sounds much more like an E45 blaster bolt than the E11, which the Ghorman were holding. If you listen here, let's take it back a little bit, and everyone, turn it up your volume.
Well, you see this guy, he goes back and to the left.
And everyone's like, nobody watched this shit on Space YouTube. This fucking guy with 3 followers. No, ignore this guy.
But yeah, they do open fire on the crowd, and then there's I guess a battle of sorts, because there are people fighting back, but mostly it's just a massacre. And the snipers are on the roof, and they're not aiming at any of the people with guns, initially at least. They're just taking out civilians.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you kill women and children too? Yeah, easy. Just don't lead them as much.
And the Willman joins in. There's fire bombs being thrown. Dedra goes out onto the patio, or the tarp, whatever, there to look for Cyril, because she tells the guy like, "Hey, go find him." And the guy's like, "Yeah, he's gone, dude. Like he did not. He left. Yeah." And then they deploy these KX units, and these people are just getting tossed to death.
I mean, the first one, I was really happy they did this. Like, they pick up one of the chicks and throws her in the air when she hits. I'm like, man, that would kill you. And then it shows her dead face. I'm like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
And we've seen so much. Yeah, we've seen so much shit, like Marvel movies, Fast and Furious movies. People getting thrown off of helicopters and just rolling, and they get back up. And she died, and I couldn't fucking believe it.
I was nervous that she was gonna like get up like limping and shit. Yes. But like, nope, blap, slap, flapjack.
Yeah. But the first thing that happens is the KX droid kicks a barricade into another dude. Just, holy shit.
I'm at my TV just going, woo, woo.
We do see Desk Dude here, because there's some people inside the hotel hiding behind the windows, and he's like, I'm going to need you to move. And at first I'm like, oh, he's trying to save these people from being near the line of fire. No, he's trying to save them from being near the line of this thermal fucking detonator he's about to toss.
First of all,
I'm assuming
nice
this dude's dead.
Yeah, it has to be.
It gotta be, yeah.
Also, if this wasn't Tony Gilroy's Star Wars, then he would have had like a, hey, it's checkout time before he blew him up. Some cool bell pop thing.
I don't know, man. I think, you know what? Better that would have gotten it to a 10 instead of a 9.9 on IMDb. I know what you're saying, but listen to what you're saying. How much better
I would have
loved
loved it. It's checkout time, boys.
If I'm ever in a situation where I have to like kill somebody dramatically, I'm gonna be like, fuck, I can't think of a line. Hey, Jack, look, I've got about 8 seconds. What do I say when I
describe it? What's in the room right now?
I'm in a hotel. I have a thermal detonator. There's some bad guys outside.
Checkout.
It's checkout time. Thank you. It's checkout time. Oh, I said it horribly. Boom.
You fuck it up on accident. The time to check out is now. Damn it.
No, you can't have a late checkout. And then the grenade falls and it just blows you up.
It's checkout time. Oh, my voice cracked. Boom.
Can I get another technical, guys?
We have Cyril standing in the carnage, like baffled about what's going on.
Carnage.
And he spots Cassian, and he's like, this motherfucker again? And I think, obviously, he's been looking for Cassian for years. Like, he still wants him. But I think at this point,
he thinks he's doing. Like, the whole thing's like outside agitator. That has to be Axis and Cassian.
Right? That's a good point. You're right.
But at this point, too... Oh, go ahead.
No. I was going to say that he thinks this is all part of that network, which it is, but it isn't.
Right. It's bigger than they think, or maybe bigger than he thinks, at least.
But, like, I also think this is a moment for him, because we've cut back to him 4 or 5 times just, like, standing in the middle of all this fucking bedlam going on.
Oh, yeah.
But he sees Cassian, and it's a moment for him to be like, this is your fault, not the Empire.
Yeah.
Like, I realize now that I was terrified that the people I've been following and helping are doing this evil stuff. No, it was you.
Yeah.
Because this is the second time you've been involved. Yeah. But dude, he tackles Cassian right before he snipes Dedra.
I don't know what to call this. Like fucking, this is like dark side strength level shit.
Oh, yeah. He goes, he's letting out his dark side that he usually saves for the bedroom with Dedra.
Yeah. It's just like he's just picturing his mom right now. I'll fucking kill you. You can do it better than that.
Choke harder.
A term that we use for boxing sometimes. This is a fucking slobber knocker. He is beating the shit out of you. And he's getting the upper hand, which blew my mind. Like, he is getting some good.
I mean, Andor Cassian takes it back a little bit, but then he fucking gets it. Like, the only thing that really saved Cassian was this bomb that went off in between, this grenade rather, that went off in between them. And then he was able to scramble away because Cyril was kind of winning that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, but there's not a lot of fist fighting in Star Wars.
Not really. Oh. I mean, I think we've seen more robots fighting than humans, like in that capacity.
I mean, when we do see people get into a physical tussle, it's usually Force users, which ends up with like Mass Effect style, like biotics pushing and that kind of stuff. You know, it's
at least a lightsaber.
It's not like straight up like just two dudes rolling around on the ground trying to choke each other out, and it's fucking intense.
A very well choreographed fight, very well filmed. Like, that shit looked like it hurt.
Yeah. It's the word that we've been using. It's brutal. It's not like it's not a fucking like Indiana Jones fight where you have these loud sound effects but no one's actually bleeding. Like, it's not. It looks like a fucking real street yard tussle.
And like, yeah, that detonator does go off, and it blasts both of them away. Cyril more than Cassian, because Cyril's on upper hand. Cyril's able to grab Cassian's gun. He points the gun at Cassian, and it's the name of the episode and probably one of the deepest cutting lines in any movie ever.
The final.
Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you? And he's got it raised up, and all of a sudden it's like, what? No, you have been my reason for living. You know who I am. I'm Cyril Karn, goddammit. You know me. I've been chasing you. Eviscerating, dude. It is just so terrible to hear. But then he exits this world the same way that he fucking entered, with a fucking whimper. Like, he had this saddest little face on. Was like, he doesn't even know who I am. No.
And he gets fucking sniped by Rylans at the last second there.
Boy.
But it reminded me of a much less funny version of it happens twice, I think, in Guardians of the Galaxy. The beginning and the end, where Jimon Hansu his people are going for Star-Lord, and he's like, I'm Star-Lord. Who? And then at the end with Lee Pace, he's like, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Back to Marvel. It's fucking Scarlet Witch when she's like, you took everything from me. And Thanos is like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah. I got Mr. Burns walking into his office with Homer writing his name. Who the devil are you? Like, Cyril Karn. My name is Cyril Karn.
We all got 3 different energies out of that.
Yeah. And I, if you look at my Blue Sky Instagram, I posted a meme, the Don Draper in the elevator, other guy saying, I feel bad for you, and Don Draper saying, I don't even know who you are.
That's perfect.
I got that one too. So.
I do feel for Cyril Karn, because I just don't think dude had a chance in life.
No, he got the short stick from the beginning.
Yeah. That's what you call his mom?
This one I'm with Jack and what he said about the previous section there, that I'm glad there was no fucking speechifying, no like, I've been looking for you for years, I finally caught you, I'm finally be rid of you. Cyril doesn't.
It's all in his eyes.
Fucking word. Yeah, not a word.
Mm-hmm. There's an alternate version where he's like, my name, and then he gets shot, but they cut that.
No, this is handled so perfectly, dude.
Yeah. No, because like you said, it's 100% in his eyes and his face, because it's just that like almost betrayed look, like,
oh yeah,
who am I? Who the fuck am? What are you? Blap.
It's the same energy as being like, oh my God, I love you. I've known you for years, and I've been watching you, and not in a creepy way, but following you. Who are you? Oh no.
Oh, like our upcoming episode on bad movies, worst people that we talked about for Mental Health Month. Your pick, Bedazzled.
Oh yeah.
Brendan Fraser goes up to that girl and he's like,
Allison,
hey, how are you? And she's like, I'm sorry, but do I know you? And he's like, we've worked together for 4 years. We talked that one time 3 years ago at lunch.
Said it was raining. You wore blue. You smelled of deep aqua melva.
But Cassian and Willman try to get out. They're pinned down by this stampede of people from these KX units coming in.
I am gonna have to look up Willman's gun because I really enjoyed his little blaster. Like it's a good looking make.
And is this douchebag guy from the Ghorman front who we have not liked the whole time, but he comes through here because
hey, it's me.
Plows,
I got a truck with a snow plow. Call me
he
a
plows
Mr.
right
Plow.
into this thing, and it's like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. He hits this robot, and it makes a dent the shape of the robot in the wall.
The part that I was saying had bad CG. Like it was fine last night when I watched it, but when I was rewatching it today, it's when you see someone just fly out of the tunnel and they hit the wall and fall. When they hit the wall and fall down, there's no person there.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's just on the rewatch, I was like, can't we get a real body to throw? I'm sure it's pretty easy to get a cadaver.
That's one of those things, like those stuntmen don't exist anymore, like a Buddy Joe Hooker or Craig Baxley, where it's like, okay, we're gonna huck you at a wall, and they're like, cool, got it.
Like,
I guess people want to live, cowards.
Fucking amateurs.
This thing gets taken out by the speeder dump truck, whatever this thing is.
It's a land plow.
It is a plow. Yeah, it literally has
that air. I'm glad this guy got a little redemption.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad because he was about to he might not live long, but at least he will die a little bit less heavy. Because even Andor's like, I recognize you. And he's like, yeah, we met before. And he's like, I owe you. Thank you. Or you saved me. Thank you. Like, hey, cool. You're not a complete waste of fucking space. Turns out you can grow in a year.
Yeah. So, because Andor does have a look like, I'm the guy that said you guys were dumb and not going to help anything. But hey, thanks for the help.
I mean, I was right. 100% right, by the way. Just want to put it out there. You all suck. You fell for the Empire's trap. But thank you for saving me. We are Ghorman.
And we've seen throughout this that Willman and this girl Drina, who's in the Ghorman front, kind of have a relationship.
Kind of. He loves her.
Oh, good.
Well, because at this point Cassian's like, we got to get the fuck out, and Willman's like, no, I've got to go back for her, and she has a really cool thing here because when he's going back for her, it's her on the radio, because Cassian does ask for some help with something, and they toss that KX unit in the back of his ship there.
Which I guess there's some people a little annoyed. I don't think it's a big deal. It kind of retcons his origin story from a comic book. I haven't read it, so I don't care.
Couldn't give a shit.
Couldn't give a shit, right?
Guess what? I've seen movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear they're doing a comic book that's a direct sequel to Return of the Jedi, and I might read that, but other than that, I don't really care.
I'll check that out, yeah.
Cyril's mom comic book or get the fuck out of my face.
But Drina does have this speech. She's calling for help, and Cassian hears it on his radio, and it's like, this is murder. The Empire built this fire, and the world keeps burning.
Can't anybody help us? How do we sleep while the gores are burning?
But like the Empire built this fire and they expect us to die without anybody knowing why.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a song. She rhymes.
She does good. It's always better advice when it rhymes.
And then we get a moment of Dedra, and this was in the trailer too, with her having the panic attack where she's like pulling on her collar.
I think this is her humanity.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck,
she feels
I
like
did
a
this.
Piece of shit. Yeah.
I did this. I don't think she knows Cyril's dead. Maybe she thinks like maybe there's a chance he's dead because he left that room, but there's no way that she was able to spot him dead in this bar or wherever he was. So
no, but
I think
this is a fucking sea of dead bodies. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I think she pretty much knows.
And he hasn't come back yet.
Yeah.
But it does. She's having this panic attack, and she's got this super tight fucking Imperial uniform on that they all wear, and it's her trying to like pull on the wrist a little bit, pull on the collar. I'm like, just unbutton that top button, dude. Like, get some air.
He says that to me all the time. Let them things breathe, Jack.
Just unbutton the top button of your pants. There's only one button on my pants, sir.
I know.
I know. Oh, that's the newest I know of Star Wars. I'm not wearing any underwear. I know.
But then we finish with the news broadcast talking about like, we have to find out tally of the death of all these Imperial martyrs on Ghorman.
Yeah. We're not mentioning one name of a Ghorman. Like we're talking just Imperial people.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and we get a shot of Cyril's mom watching the news.
Oh, I did. My heart was breaking for Classy.
I never thought that she would outlive Cyril. Like I did not expect that to happen.
Thought that 100%.
No,
just in life.
I expected them both to die before, because again we're clearing the board before Rogue One, but
she's
never expected her to outlive.
She is just evil enough to live.
That's the dark side helps you live forever. So.
I mean, I didn't expect. Dude, she's a fucking Sith Lord, isn't she? She's master manipulator.
You put a hood on that little lady.
She taught Palpatine everything he knows.
She would have the first. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody listening? She would have the first lightsaber cane. Oh wait, no. I think there's that camel-looking Jedi in the cartoons that has one. Damn it.
Fucking cartoons, man.
We'll get there. You'll get there.
Is his name is it Joe Camel?
No, it's Jokamal. You idiot.
Jokamal,
Master Jokamal.
He's got a cane lightsaber and he's got a little lightsaber he holds in his mouth every once in a while. No questions.
Can't look at that cigarette without thinking about penis.
But yeah, so that's the end of that episode. Man. And we go right into Welcome to the Rebellion, and I was like, "Oh, all right. I guess I know what this one's going to be."
Yeah.
And I think we should take a quick little moment to give Tony Gilroy golf clap for episode 8. Yeah, clap, man. And I watched the little
had to catch my breath.
Yeah, I watched the behind the scenes thing, and he says, Tony Gilroy says, our audience has to be patient, but they know when we bring it. We bring it, and he's 100% right.
And I think also
I didn't watch that this time around.
I don't want to watch any of them until it's done. I don't want to look behind the curtain until I have nothing else to look at. I think that the 3-episode structure is phenomenal in this block, especially.
Yep.
Because this first episode of the block would have been very boring and short, and people would have been pissed.
Yeah.
On that week-to-week shit. Because, I mean, how many times do we watch like either Skeleton Crew or Acolyte? We're like, that's it? That's all you fucking gave me for the week? So the 3-episode structure really helped with this block.
Oh, yeah. So let's get into episode 9, Welcome to the Rebellion. But right before we do that, you guys may have noticed that we have this guest who's been talking for this whole time. The Classy Alcoholic. And he has his own podcast. Is that right?
That's right. It's called the Mixed Company Podcast. It's about professional boxing. So, yes, I like nerd stuff. I like Star Wars. I like Star Trek. I like one sport. But I try to make the podcast definitely for, not for experts. We don't get into the weeds, all these stats and the such and such. We try to make it cool and accessible to people. So, if you're interested, check it out on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. And if you're not interested, still subscribe, leave a 5-star review. Just do it because you know what? It's good to help out the little guy.
Fuck yeah.
Andor would subscribe, leave 5 stars, and Andor would play 10 minutes of it at 3 times speed so it jukes the stats.
Absolutely. He would do that.
Absolutely. To be like, this guy is also Mexican. I would support him. And Mexicans love boxing. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. So Cassie and Andor watches space boxing. I guarantee you.
This is not a racist thing, but so yeah, with boxing and soccer, it's a very minimalist equipment thing, I think, and you can play it damn near anywhere. And once you have that culture there in a society, it sustains, it persists. Like you pass that culture on.
Yeah, all you need is a ball or a fist.
Yeah.
No, you're 100% right. That is a legitimate thing. You need hands to learn how to box. And yeah, sure, you need wraps and gloves and stuff, but yeah,
eventually.
It's not like you need equipment. Eventually, but also that's why hip hop was very popular in the black communities in the hood, because you don't need a fucking drum set, you don't need a guitar, a bass, fucking trombones. You're just rapping.
I actually never even thought of that. That makes so much fucking sense.
Open your third eye, guys. Open your third eye.
Well, yeah, especially in the early days, you have.
Did he just tell me to spread my butthole?
Yeah, but you just have a turntable and you play the part of the song that's instrumental, and you just go back to it over and over while people rap over it.
Yep.
No, it's legit. It's legit. So, and also, poor people food is the best food in the world. Mexican food, Indian food, street tacos, all that shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's why barbecue's so fucking good. You had a bunch of freed slaves that were taught how to cook, and they didn't know what to do when they got done, so they took these cheap ingredients. They're not anymore, but at the time they were cuts of meat that nobody wanted, and they made them delicious. Get your fucking cattail out of my face.
Well, and that was actually the thing that Trump said in his first campaign that convinced me not to vote for him. He's like, if you vote for this other guy, there's going to be a taco truck on every corner.
I wanted that.
It wasn't all the terrible racist things that he said that convinced me not to, or all the other awful stuff. It was like, if I lose, you're gonna have a taco truck everywhere. And I was like, well, sign me the fuck up. Turns out he's a liar there too.
Yeah,
I have to go somewhere for tacos.
It's also how I know you're a madman, because you don't want a taco truck.
Well, it's not a McDonald's.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Star Wars. Pretty much all of this episode takes place on Coruscant.
Back to other fascists.
Speaking of fascists, we are on Coruscant. We get more from Bail Organa in this, played now by Benjamin Bratt. And you know what? Before we speculated, like, well, Jimmy Smits is working on something else. He didn't have time to show up for this one little short cameo. I would think that Jimmy Smits, if he could, would have really liked to be here for this, because this is like one of the more key moments that he's actually had in any of. He's showed up and stuff, and he's had like things he said or like things that his character has done that maybe aren't always on camera or whatever. But like, this is like a really powerful episode for Bail Organa.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think if he could have been here, he would have been here, because it's his character. I don't think anybody's ever played him until now.
No,
he might even fucking voice him. Jimmy Smits might voice him in either Rebels or Clone Wars. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Oh, that's what Jimmy Smits was like. Wait, you guys aren't just going to deep fake it? And I can't just record it in my closet?
I kind of wish that Benjamin Bratt would have tried for that Jimmy Smits lisp. Just that real subtle, almost like Castellano.
My favorite Bail Organa moment and Jimmy Smits moment is episode 3 at the end, when he shows up after Order 66 is happening, and they put up guns and say, get the fuck out of here, Jimmy Smits, and he just goes, and so it is.
And so it
is.
He
walks away.
Oh yeah, because like, I think it's time for you to leave. He's like, and so it is.
Yeah, it actually made me laugh, and I don't think it was supposed to. Episode 3 is bad, but that's a particularly bad part of it.
Oh, man, episode 3. I love episode 3 only because it's the best out of that trilogy. Not because it's a good movie, but it does have that banger-ass lightsaber duel, man. Anyway, we could talk about that another time. We already have.
Yeah, go back to our back catalog. We talked about it for about 3 hours.
And so it is.
And so it is.
This starts with this Ambassador Oren. I have his name here, being arrested. The guy from Ghorman, and he's like yelling to everybody. He's like, "Dude, yeah, it's my people today, but it's your people tomorrow. Like, this isn't just me." And like, because a lot of these senators, we see it shortly, are still just fucking. They're politicians. They're like, well, nothing can touch me. Like,
yeah.
This is happening to you because you fucked up.
And this is happening in real life right now, where what he's talking about, he's like, dude, I'm getting fucking basically like, what do you call it? Extradited or deported or whatever with no fucking due process. Like, I'm just being apprehended and taken into some imperial camp, an internment camp, probably. Fuck.
And the Emperor fucking, nominated most of the Space Supreme Court. So they're like, this guy's cool. We love this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them are former I don't know, what would the Star Wars version be? ZZZ members, but space KKK,
like I can work on it.
The Zuzaiman Zen. Anyway, but Bail and Mon Mothma have a little discussion, and she's like, dude, I've got to make a speech about this, and then we have to get the fuck out of here.
Something real quick. I just thought about it right now. It's from a previous episode where fucking Will Forte is complaining about like 40 new senators. Yeah. That's because the Emperor fucking appointed them.
Yes.
Yeah. So he literally did choose the Space Supreme Court.
He's just stacking his fucking Space Supreme Court. That's what's happened. I didn't even think about that till right now.
Amazing. This is going to hold up so well on a rewatch.
Oh God, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Can we talk about how sad I am that there's one more week of this? Like, I love the 3-episode thing, but I'm also just like, what is going to fill this hole in my heart?
You're literally saying everything I wanted to say. I was going to wait till the end, but here, okay, then let's get into it. I'm kind of curious. Like, yes, we're sad this is going to be over, but do you think you're going to be satisfied, or do you think that like you're always going to wish you had another season or 2 more? Because the plan was 5 seasons.
There's no way this show does not dismount well. I just cannot fathom that the Gilroys don't fucking nail this dismount and get a fucking 10 on the card.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be both for me because I think it's going to be very satisfying. Like I'm with Jack. I don't see any way where he fucks this up. But also it's going to end and I'm going to be like, but what now?
Yeah.
I guess I go watch Rogue One again.
I guess I watch Andor 1, Andor 2, Rogue One. There's a day. There's 2 days.
I wasn't sad about Better Call Saul ending, which is a show I absolutely fucking loved to death. But it was like 6 seasons, and I was like, I'm happy that this is ending and getting a resolution. I don't feel as excited about this ending. I feel more, like I said, bittersweet about it. I don't know. We'll just see how we'll have to come together next week in fucking group therapy here. And
I wouldn't mind at some point like do a rewatch of it and just try and get like a 25-minute chat about it.
Sure.
See if it does hold up.
Yeah. So the big thing here is like Bail Organa tells her like, hey, you give the speech, but I have to stay behind because Yavin isn't ready and I'm going to buy you time. And she's like, but you're going to be a prisoner. And he's like, well, I hope not.
Could be. I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope you're wrong.
We've got Clea and Cassian hanging out. Like she's making forged documents for the fake reporter he already was, but these are new. These are for the Senate, right?
Yeah.
I really like they show the process of her making these. Like they have all this equipment in the back of this room because I guess someone walks in and they're like, oh, well, that's for restoring, delicate paperwork or, like.
This is like a speakeasy, but instead of alcohol, it's fucking identities and spy shit.
Yeah.
They probably have booze back there too, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, they got booze that you can't get. You and I can't get this booze. Luthen gets this booze.
What's the Star Wars version of Romulan ale that's illegal?
It's the shit from Obi-Wan when he goes to the droid bar and it's like an oil alcohol that the droids drink.
No, it's not Obi-Wan. He goes to the droid bar. That's Mando.
Is it Mando? God,
yeah, it's the one with Christopher Lloyd.
It is. You're right.
Hey, Scott Marty, they're drinking booze.
Yeah, with Jack Black and
Lizzo.
Yeah.
What a fucking shit episode.
I should have just left it at Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah,
though, right?
yeah, because now I'm mad. Right. I was happy for a minute, dude, and now I'm not.
Well, hear Jack get mad later this year when we talk about Mandalorian. So, but yeah, this is where he says, like, after this, I'm not coming back. Like, I'm done. And Clea's immediate response is just like, "Are you
really?
Are you though?
Yeah, you can just give this up because I wish I tried to give this up. Just when
are
you think about
are you tired? Are you tired? Have you been through a lot? Oh, and I go, my little poor baby, you've been through a lot, haven't you? Oh,
little baby Webble wants to sweep. Little baby Webble's tired.
Does anybody else's fingers hurt? Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping.
Oh yeah, you're tired. Yeah, well now your butthole's gonna be tired because Luthen's gonna fuck you.
Sorry, Dave, that reference got me. That really got me. No, she
good
really
reference.
Okay, so this is the thing that if it wasn't like Star Wars, it wasn't like it was more crude or something nice. She was straight up being like, "Oh, you little pussy bitch!" Like that's what she's doing, like straight up.
Well,
yeah, we can say shit in Star Wars. We can't say pussy bitch yet.
Pussy bitch, yeah.
She does do the Star Wars equivalent of that though, because he's like, I'm gonna get out. I need to start making my own decisions. And she's like, yeah, I thought that's why we were doing this.
Ooh, fucking mic drop. She took a recording droid and just dropped him.
And the droid went, no, why was I programmed to feel pain?
Just seems like a foresight.
Number one, Clea with her hair down, which we've only seen once before in season 1.
She slays, dude. She's my favorite. I know that Bix is a smoke show, but Clea's got a darkness I like.
And on that note, angry Clea, very sexy, just giving him the business. Oh man, she has no time for his bullshit, and I like it.
I want to share a bed with her, and she's like, move to your left. And I'm like, are you happy? Are you move to your left? Is there anything else like it? Move to your left. Should I get a rubber or are you on birth control? Move to your left. Okay.
And then you fall off, and she's like, that's what I wanted.
I wanted to sleep diagonally.
If that's what I get, that's what I get, pal.
Also, on the note, it's like it's nice. It is nice sharing a bed with a lady, but when they get up and you still want to sleep, when you be able to like sleep diagonally and put your fucking head here on one quarter leg. Oh, there's nothing better. God damn it, there's nothing better.
I'm too shitty of a sleeper to share a bed. I end up waking up early. I'm like, oh, I just couldn't sleep. I go fucking lay on the couch for fucking 3 hours.
Wait, so you guys have never fallen out of bed while trying to make love to a woman?
Not a woman.
All right, I'm the only one then.
There's a watermelon.
That's a story for another podcast.
Classy froze of him taking a sip of his drink, and it's a great thumbnail. I very much enjoy that. There
you are.
I'm going to have to go back and actually listen to this. I don't like listening to my stupid fat voice, but I missed so much of this.
You get over that.
I'll get it out.
You'll get over that.
I
I hated mine. Now I'm just like, that's what comes out of my mouth when I open it. I know Derek hated it so fucking much that you can't.
Yeah, after 3 years of editing, I'm just like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Look at hey, fat guy, quit breathing. So, that's me.
Some fat motherfuckers on the mic just breathe. Oh. Sounds like Darth Vader trying to. The reason I like this movie, live action stunts. That guy was on fire. That's cool.
So you have a great big fat podcaster. But so Mon Mothma and Erskine are scanning her office for listening devices, and of course they find one, and she makes the most amateur mistake you can make.
Rookie mistake.
Don't smash the listening device.
How did he not tell her not to do this?
Right? Because we find out in a moment that he works for fucking Luthen.
Not for long. You let her smash the device? Why'd you let her smash the device?
But also the hubris again of the Empire. They're like, oh, the listening device went out. I mean, I guess it just died. The battery went out. Nobody's like, oh no, she busted us again. They don't. It doesn't even cross their fucking mind.
Yeah. It's something on our end. Something went faulty because we hit it really well. And there's no way they have one of those 3 light scanners. No chance, P-Pants.
Like when she does go out, she leaves the office to practice her speech. Luthen comes up to her. That's where she finds out that this guy Erskine's been working for Luthen. But she also finds out that the team that Bail Organa has that's going to take her out after the speech has been corrupted in some way. He doesn't know the details. He just knows that
there's a
compromise.
Shouldn't
go with them. Yeah.
I was worried
Lonnie.
Worried because I thought that they were implying that Bail Organa was crooked, and I was like, no, but that would make no fucking sense.
No.
I was like, I really thought that's what they were doing. I was like,
he's just a little more naive.
Sure, yeah.
But also we see that these people who are the extraction team all meet each other the day of the speech, and it's only one of them that's
one person.
So. I do like though, like she's losing it a little bit the way Saw was losing it last season. Yeah, Mon is, because like the way Saw was last season when Luthen's like, I've got someone in your crew, and he's like, who the fuck is it? My best friend? Ooh. Like she's like, wait, am I supposed to trust you? Am I supposed to go with this guy I don't know? And then she gets to this thing. She's like, I think about my friend Tay a lot.
That's right.
Do you ever think about him? Yeah, like, am I a risk like Tay was? And he's like, I don't know. Are you?
Is the team compromised? Like, you're going to take me out? Sorry, I cut you off, Classy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not the same as Saw because she has good reason to believe that he might fucking have her murked. Honestly.
That's true. Well, Saw's a little crazy.
But it's just that like so long of being in this cloak and dagger world and not really being built for it. No, Saw is a little more built for it. He's just mentally unstable.
He's fucking huffing Rylon.
Yeah,
this dude, Rhydonium. Sorry, this guy is basically taking grocery bags full of tire Fix-A-Flat and just fucking huffing them in. And like, we have to fight the Empire.
Wait, is Jacob bad?
Jacob damn near killed him.
Jacob for the reception.
If you don't know what Jankum is, just look it up.
Yeah, Google it.
I'm not going to tell you.
In incognito tab, but
yeah, use your friend's phone.
Make sure you put on the hat and the trench coat like the little guy.
Makes it more efficient.
The thing about this part, though, where Mon Mothma's like, bro, you killed Take Home, am I next? Now Luthen is straight up the bad guy to so many people.
There was a line.
He was never a good guy, but this time he's the antagonist to, all of these people's stories.
We skipped over a line last episode, and now I'm glad we did because it comes up perfect here. Willman says to Andor, he's like, you act like Luthen's the bad guy. Andor turns around and is like, it'd be easier if he was, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
right. I forgot about that.
it's such a fucking just like, you have no idea where this guy's coming from. You might be next. Like I think I didn't even think about it, Classy, but you nailed it. She has every fucking reason to be worried about her life right now. Saul, you're just fucking high as shit and you think Tubes took your stash. Did you touch my stash? I left it here. Now it's been smoked. Is it possible you smoked it? Impossible. I'd be higher.
To go back to the Breaking Bad universe that Classy was talking about, it's like it Saw as Jesse Pinkman and Two Tubes as like Sneaky Pete or whatever his fucking name was.
Skinny Pete.
Did you take my shit? Skinny Pete. We do get confirmation that would not like we didn't believe it that Mon's driver is an agent because we see the ISB people talking about it. And this is where Classy was talking about before, like, oh, she hasn't left the Senate. There's no way she didn't go without me. So
Yeah. I'm still
although
here.
she hasn't really left. I mean, she went to the courtyard, but she didn't really go anywhere, right?
No, it was, like, would she have gotten another ride? It's like, no, I'm her driver. Who else would she go with?
I mean, she ends up heading towards him. So if he just would have stayed still, he might have had a chance of doing something.
Yeah. Well,
he'd still be alive.
We'll get there. Cassian meets up with Luthen and Clea, and this when it's like you could see what Jack was talking about earlier is like because Cassian's like, okay, so we're taking Mon Mothma to Yavin, but you're not going, and he's like, yeah, I can't go there yet. I can't go there yet. I can't go there.
He's addicted, man. He's fucking addicted, and for a good reason. Like, he needs to burn down the Empire for. I don't think I'm going to get his backstory that I wanted. And Classy has said this a couple times. Use your imagination. Just picture his wife and children that he lost in some horrific way. That's up to you. But I think that he's so addicted to this revenge that he's like, I can't go to this fucking rebellion. I have to stay here like a little fucking worm inside the system, fucking with what I can.
You know that the Empire killed his wife and children because he has the shirt with the skull on it. It's a Punisher joke.
Okay.
Each one of his blaster bolts has a Punisher logo on it.
But even here, like, Luthen is losing it a little bit too from all this cloak and dagger, which we saw before. He's like, it's just too much to handle because even here, when Cassian's like, dude, if you stay here, they're gonna find you, and he's like, will they find me or did they already find me? You know, you seem to be showing up at a lot of convenient places. You show up every time I need you. You know, it's like Luthen is unraveling.
Oh, yeah. But he's also, you know what I just thought about, back to my addiction, my thought of his addiction, when him and Claire are leaving the party and he's like, my face hurts from smiling. He's still smiling, though. Now it's genuine. Like, he fucking loves this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that high of getting one over on the Empire or whoever he's trying to con at the moment.
Or it could also be like him. It's just like, all right, look, I'm not going to Yavin. Coruscant rules. There's no fucking clubs in Yavin. It's just the fucking like woods planet.
Little did you know,
nightlife.
I fell in love with this. I fell in love with a lady I call the short stick. You've never met her before. She's very mean. I love her to death. We have the kinkiest sex ever. She berates me, takes off my shirt, yells into my nipples.
How many craft breweries are in fucking Yavin right now? Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, you're lucky if you can get some moonshine.
Exactly.
There's at least one because there's one everywhere, but Coruscant, there's one on every corner.
Every planet in the galaxy has a fermentable plant.
That's very true.
But I mean, the big thing here is like if Mon Mothma gets arrested,
Mustafar's be the worst.
It might be really good, honestly.
It's a lava planet.
If you like spicy beer,
it's gonna be just as ashy and disgusting, sir. You know what you want? You want some of that fucking Naboo booze. You want Naboos. You want some Naboos.
Well, I guess Mustafar is like it's for people who really like Rausch beers and stuff, like smoked porter.
You are acting like a Tatooine.
But like, if brothels are on Yavin right now? Like, look, it's not even legal on Coruscant, but nobody gives a shit. I go every weekend. Nobody. I mean,
I feel like Yavin is a lot like Vietnam. So I mean, it's going to have people working against their will.
It's little Ewoks that are like one of the rebels is like, what do I get for 10 credits? It's like anything you want.
He said,
I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to say it like if Wicket could actually say words. Anything you want.
You get a yum yum for the credit.
You get a num num. I knew that was going to go somewhere really
give you-
bad.
Give you yum nubs.
God. Want to hear why they call me Wicket?
I'll give you a yum nubs for 10 credits, but dub nubs are extra.
But you gotta.
I've never sexualized an Ewok in my entire fucking life, and there's a really good reason.
But Wilford Brimley is their pimp, so you gotta watch out. That's a reference to the movies that no one's seen. The Ewok, was it the second one that he's the
Caravan of Courage or Battle of Endor?
Which one's he's? I don't remember which one.
I have him.
The first one. I haven't seen it, but I think it was.
We've got him on Blu-ray. We'll have to watch them and
Got them on
figure it
4K.
out.
Those are on 4K.
Yeah,
I paid for 4K.
Real good. Y'all get 10% and you don't touch the Ewok. You don't put the hands on her like he doesn't want to. He comes into the hut and he just like grabs the guy by the neck and put up him against the walls like, where is the money? Get out of here! Don't see your face touching the Ewok again.
They look hungry. They're going to try and die and beat us.
I get Uncle Duvet here. I have to get into the kissing is extra.
Don't fall in love.
Anyway,
Yeah, recover from that.
hey guys, I don't want to sound needy here.
I'm needy.
But we have a Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople.
Mm-hmm.
And it only costs $3 a month.
$3 a month is nothing.
And I know times are hard right now.
Real hard for me.
Inflation's up.
Oh.
You can't afford your groceries.
Can't eat.
But you can afford $3 a month if you love us.
Give us $3.
Super love us.
Please
Yeah.
love us.
We're not begging.
I'm begging.
We're not pleading.
I'm pleading.
We're not down on our knees.
Oh boy,
I mean-
my knees hurt. They've been on so long.
But we do kind of need the money.
I need the money bad.
We need new equipment.
New equipment. We need to do remote podcasts for all of you.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need to have video.
I wouldn't mind eating.
We need more drinks.
Food sounds good.
So please check out patreon.com/worstpeople.
Please check us out.
You get a bonus episode every month, and we're going to have more content coming for you.
I'll send you pictures.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Please give me more.
Patreon.com/worstpeople.
I'm being held hostage here. If I don't pay my way out of here, they're going to kill me.
We meet good God. We do meet the operatives from Bale's team, and the one who ends up being the traitor, I thought I recognized her. I thought she was the girl. Obviously she's not, because spoiler alert, she gets fucking shot. But I thought she was the girl from the Mando episode. Is it Mando? Yeah, I think it's one of those where they go back to the scientist who is trying to. He's in like the rehabilitation program because he was an Imperial
Dr. Pershing?
scientist. Yes,
Oh,
That's Mando.
No, are you talking about?
I thought it was
the
her.
Hawaiian. It's the Hawaiian chick. I believe she's a lesbian
Yeah,
actress.
from-
She's fucking awesome.
from Love Lies Bleeding? Fuck Derek. No, she doesn't look anything.
Oh,
like
I haven't seen
No.
Love Lies Bleeding, but
Yeah, it's good.
they
It's
have a similar facial.
She
structure.
looks like,
Video
if
right.
anybody's watching Righteous Gemstones, she looks like the really tall maid that baby Billy hires. Yes, I want you to fucking do something. Little baby shit all over his playpen.
I haven't got that far yet.
All right,
Well,
well,
yeah, I'm literally. Before we got onto the show, I was watching an episode from season 3. So,
well, you're almost there.
yeah,
We just finished season 1 last night, which is the only season I've actually watched previously. So now I'm moving on to the rest.
You are in for a ride, my friend.
You know what's funny? Now this is the Righteous Gemstone podcast, but I watched season 1 a long time ago, and then all of a sudden it's like nothing against the show. I loved it, but it just kind of I fell off. I forgot it existed.
Well, it
And
took a
then-
long time between seasons.
That's the.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
when they were saying like, "Oh, it's gonna it just ended," but they're saying, "Oh, the final season." I'm like, "Oh shit, I got to get on it." So I powered. Through,
That's
do
exactly
whatever.
why Whitney and I are watching it again. Because it was like by the time season 2 came out, I was like, well, season 1 was almost 3 years ago, so I got to
Right,
rewatch that. And then it just became a task. And now that it's all out, I'm like, cool, let's do it.
It's and the seasons are quick burns.
And also,
yeah.
they don't really end on cliffhangers. Like there's, the art. There's not like a real story arc. Like they're pretty self-contained. So if you haven't gotten into the Righteous Gemstone, listeners, definitely do that. Definitely.
Baby Billy's Bible bonkers.
Yeah,
Go
I
outside, you
love
fucking
Walton
nerd.
Goggins.
Well, that's a ninja star with a big old booger on it. Look at that.
Also that
That was my favorite line from season 1, by the way.
Also, that woman's name is Kitty O'Brien, who you're thinking of from Mando and Love Life.
Okay.
She ended up being in, I think it was the fucking Ant-Man where it was all just their faces on CG.
Quantumania.
Yeah, I believe she's in Quantumania. I like that actress. She's very, very solid.
She was wasted in that movie. So was Chief from The Good Place in that movie.
Sorry,
terrible.
when I say that I liked her, I didn't mean from that movie. Sorry.
No, everybody in that movie was wasted. Oh, you mean like not used properly?
No.
Michael Douglas was just sitting in his kitchen drinking wine and talking. He wasn't even on a set. Anyway, that's a different podcast. So Cassian gets into the Senate here with his false credentials. I love that this dude's just like, these aren't approved. That's fine. You can just float. You don't have a chair.
Fine. You can go in, dude, but you cannot sit down. If I see you sitting down, out of here.
And someone in the ISB or one of these mentions that, like, you know, there's some senators who may have some stuff to say about Ghorman, and he's like, they're not going to get a chance to talk. We're only going to let our people talk, and that's what you see in this like montage of fucking just bootlicking senators. They're like, well, this is terrible. I can't believe the Ghormans would do this.
Yeah, control the narrative.
Ghormans, everybody knows that Ghormans are pieces of shit.
These are the 40 new fucking senators.
Let me go back for a sec there, Derek, because they're saying that somebody wants to quote or write down, challenge the imperial narrative. Again, those are the names of the crimes they're using, which is fucking amazing.
It's good writing.
So
is it Bale that gets to say shit this time? Which Jimmy Smith's also missed out on? He's like, look, we're going to do what we can. We're going to tear the shit out of this place.
Yeah. It's awesome because he's saying, I'm going to stick around, but you're the one that's going to really fuck things up.
Yeah.
And then you fuck off to Yavin. So I'm doing what I can, but like it's not as significant as what you're doing, which is cool.
Yeah. It's the most I can do. But you're going to be the one that's in charge of the rebellion at some point, even though you have no military tact. You're just a rich, inspiring white lady. That's awesome.
So you're good at giving speeches.
Class traitors can be good if they're on the top of the class. Like we need the rich people to be. My boy Luigi Mangione. People are like, well, he was a rich kid. He grew up privileged. Okay, and whatever happened. Whatever happened, I'm okay with it. He's a class trader as well, but the good kind.
Okay, so then we get Bale goes out to get, because he's allowed to speak because he's not, I guess, a known dissenter the way that Mon Mothma is. So they allow him to have the floor.
But he comes out with knowledge. He's like, dude, fucking Article 257 B is for bitch.
If you look down below my picture here, it's Article 17-272.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
And it's for any senator to be able to yield the floor to another senator for something important. And she has this big speech, and I mean,
it's a good speech.
I've got a couple key lines, but I'm not. It's a good speech and it's a good performance.
Hold on, I got to highlight again the writing here. The whole thing is, it's like, look, this was from the Emperor. It's an emergency declaration. If there's an emergency, a senator is able to speak without being interrupted. People have been using the word emergency talking about Ghorman, and nobody's objected. So guess what?
Yeah.
On Mothra, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This show
he's like, prove that it's not an emergency. Nobody said anything yet. So
you can't.
Working the system.
Stupid. Yeah, amazing.
But, I mean, she's got some good stuff that, again, applies to real life, like now, but also just in general. Because she's talking about how they're in a crisis, but she's like, the most dangerous thing is the loss of objective reality. Ooh. Like the death of truth. Truth is the ultimate victory of evil. So, like, if there is not an objective truth, if truth is based on opinion, which is something that's being said a lot, like, well, that's your truth, but not mine. Right. Like, then evil has won.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you can just say, like, well, but my truth is different than your truth, then they're both technically correct, but there is an objective reality of what's true and what isn't.
And this is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause.
And she uses, I couldn't believe it, a senator using the word genocide and calling it out, which finally somebody gets on the Senate floor and calls out a genocide for what it is, doesn't just yap for 24 hours and calls it a filibuster, but doesn't actually stop any Senate proceedings. And then as soon as he's done fucking yapping and fundraising, he's like, well, back to nominating Emperor Palpatine's fucking Supreme Court or court.
I know what real life dude you're talking about. Yeah, and like it's great that he tried to do that, but he still has some terrible voting policies.
Didn't do shit. So amazing.
And her big thing here is she's like, if truth becomes objective, then the monster who screams the loudest is the one who's right. And I mean, it's a fucking mic drop of a moment because she's like, and the monster screaming the loudest, who is going to come for us all, is Emperor Palpatine. And that she gets that line out, and then that's the exact moment where they just say, fuck it, cut all the power.
Yeah.
But the dude does it just a smidge too late.
It was a mic drop of a fucking moment, dude. Like that is some. We wondered because in the trailer we see her say like the monster's coming for us all. I'm like, is she openly attacking Sidious? And we wondered, or Palpatine, sorry, but yeah, she straight up is name dropping. Like, yep, Palpatine is gonna come for your planet if there's something he wants on there, and your planet if there's something he wants on there. If they find a fuel to power their fucking army, you're done.
When she tries to get out, Cassian meets up with her. He gives her the "I have friends everywhere" line. That's their like code word. But she's still not. She's like, I don't know if I should fucking go with you because that means I'm still going with Luthen, and he's not really been a good friend to me as of late.
But if you don't go with him, you're dead, lady. Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, because they're not gonna. They don't want to let her leave the building. And on their way out, the traitor agent comes out, pulls a gun. She's like, I'm a secret ISB operative, whatever, and this is an ISB mission, and I'm here to stop you. And Erskine, who was fired, and Mon doesn't want to see him, has that savior moment because he's like, she's a rebel spy. So that gives Cassian carte blanche to just shoot this lady in the face.
It's perfect. It's well done.
I love how fucked up Mon Mothma is at seeing people dying because it's not her world. This one and the next one, her face is just like, oh my fuck. She's been so far removed from the boots on the ground and what Cassian has had to do.
Because she literally is like, you killed that lady. And he's like, yeah.
Obviously.
Sure did.
I'll kill a bunch more too.
Nadoy.
Dadoy.
Nadoy in space.
That's the writing I don't want. You just killed that lady. Dadoy.
Yeah, Dadoy is like a good Star Wars name, though. There's a fucking alien named Dadoy.
I would travel there. I could vacation on Dadoy. It's a mid-rim destination hub.
The beautiful beaches of Dadoy.
The sprawling plains of Dadoy.
But that's what she's like. I don't. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the last episode, big shootouts, big action scenes, lots of explosions, lots of pew pew shootouts. This thing is just them walking and running, and it's fucking thrilling.
Yeah, it's like two blaster fires. That's it.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't know if I can do this shit right after she sees Cassian kill that lady. And he's like, hey, welcome to the rebellion, lady. That's the name of the episode.
And she's got a really cool, slick moment of just taking off her blue overcoat as she walks. It's like, boop. And he's like, put this on. And she's like in disguise all of a sudden. It's
because nobody would think of Senator Mon Mothma wearing a drab khaki colored.
Right.
This dirty poor person trench coat.
Yeah.
I liked how it looked. It just looks like really quick shoot, very, very smooth. Very
something that you were just kind of talking about with your heart pounding. We know Mon Mothma is going to live, and they still did a really good job of setting up, and not anxieties, but like concern.
Tension.
I was like, oh man, this is rough. I know she's going to make it, but how?
I love the driver here, Cloris, who we find out his name is. He's like, all these drivers are like, hey, what the fuck's going on up there? He's like, I don't know. And he wanders up there and sees Mon Mothma and Cassian. And it's like, what's that guy's name? Cloris. Hey, Cloris, we found her. And he's like, what? Blam. And just fucking takes this dude out too.
Sorry, Cloris. Should have stayed in the car.
Bang.
You'd probably still be dead. Bang. Bang. Pop. You're dead. Give me your toes.
I think this is the closest we're going to get to a death wish for Star Wars. So,
oh yeah. Well, I don't know, man. With the success of this, I will be a little bit surprised if Disney does not go a little bit more. We've talked about like, give me a rated R Star Wars. This is it. This is what we're getting right now. This is a rated R Star Wars. Sure, we're not seeing boobs and blood, but this is the most rated R Star Wars has been.
That's close, but I'll push back a little bit because I've always hated you guys don't do this because you're not fucking idiots. But there's been a lot of people that say, "Well, Star Wars has always been for adults, has always been mature," and they always point to the same thing on social media. It's Obi-Wan cuts off Ponda Baba's arm and there's blood. It is for kids, and Andor is for like 16-year-old kids and up. So let's not say that it's like they're not there's no titties, there's no like
right. And I don't want that in Star Wars, by the way. That's not what I want.
George Lucas has said from day one, Star Wars is baby shit. I mean, that's not a quote, but like it's made for children.
Yeah,
we just are adults who happen to like it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cancer in our pop culture, and it's people who enjoy baby shit but deny that it's baby shit. Like what you like. Yeah, but they try to rationalize that it's for adults. Like I fucking was so excited for all of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. The last one, opening night, I was there in the theater, drunk as shit. So stoked. But I know it's baby shit. I'm like, well, actually, Sonic the Hedgehog is very mature, and really, you have to be like an adult to understand. But just admit you like baby shit, and it's okay.
That's fine.
You could be a 45-year-old man who fucking loves Toy Story or whatever the hell, and that's okay. But don't.
I got dolls.
Exactly. So
you can watch your baby stuff as an adult and enjoy it in an adult way. Yeah. I went and saw Peter Jackson's King Kong in theaters on a giant bag of mushrooms. Do what you've got to do.
Okay, and here's the thing: the other side of that coin is people that only watch baby shit and don't understand that it's not for adults. Please watch a Cronenberg movie. Don't just watch Harry Potter. Don't just watch Star Wars. Don't just watch Disney movies. Watch a fucking Pedro Almodovar movie and stop being a fucking child.
Watch some David Lynch.
Yeah.
There's a quick moment on Yavin I only want to mention because we get God, what's this dude's name?
Drevin?
Who? No, the guy that was in Narkina 5 and he ends up in
Melchi.
Rogue One. Melchi.
Melchi.
So I was wondering, I wrote down, I was like, who the fuck is this supposed to be? Because they make a whole thing of it. Like,
it's just Vel doing like an ordnance inspection, and she finds this gun, and she's like, who does this belong to? And he's like, oi, it's me over here.
It's a bit more Irish than that. I believe it's me gun right there. Look at that.
All right, I don't remember. Again, this was like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I just remember being like, "Was his accent that strong before?"
Because there's very clear writing on the gun, so I paused it and brought up the little alphabet thing, and it's just serial numbers. I was really hoping it was going to say because it's the gun that Andor gave him when they parted ways. That was from like a fucking security officer in season 1.
Okay, so it's an Imperial gun, and that's why she's looking at it.
Yeah.
I was very confused, because they zoomed in so much. That motherfucker is posing for his own action figure. I'm like, who the fuck is this Rango?
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be somebody because she's like, well, whose gun is this? I was like, well, oh shit, who else is gonna be a fucking legacy character? Not legacy character isn't the right term for Melchi, but a returning character. And it speaks to the fact that she's like, how'd you get an Imperial gun, you fucking badass?
That's a rare misstep for this show that they really like milk this guy who's honestly, I'm sorry, a fucking nobody. Even in the Narkina 5 story, like he was just there.
Guess what? He's a nobody in Rogue One. Like he has like 3 fucking lines in Rogue One as well. So I mean, like I agree with you. It's not needed.
I think they're setting him up because he's going to be a more important character for the next
the rebellion. Probably. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. It's something I was talking with a buddy of mine today. I was like, what I like about this show is they don't just needlessly put in legacy characters. We haven't had a fucking Princess Leia walk by or insert anybody you want that you could see, like it's Jimmy Smits Bail Organa. Bail Organa's here. It served a purpose. Mon Mothma's been in this show. She serves a huge purpose. We don't have people walking by waving. Even Krennic. Krennic is here with a purpose. Nobody's fucking walking by and be like, remember me? I'm the guy from that thing.
But they did it for fucking Melchi, which is weird.
When they do it for Melchi, I agree. I don't like that.
There was that in the first season. I think it was unless it was Rogue One. I'm getting so confused
No,
because now
you're
we're
fine,
watching this
dude.
all in a row. But when Ponda Baba and
Rogue One.
Dr. Cornelius show up,
Han
it was Rogue
Solo.
One, right? Because
No,
it was Rogue One because
Rogue One.
Classy was
That's
here because
right.
he was mad about it, and we were all happy.
It was
about
on.
it.
It was on Jeddah.
Yeah.
And I was pissed about it because after watching season 1 of Andor, I'm like, they completely avoided doing any of that shit.
Yeah.
And then they brought in a 3PO and R2D2, which if they're in the third fucking they wouldn't be, sorry, the final 3 episodes, but they wouldn't be because it's after original Star Wars. Never mind. Sorry. Cut this part out.
No, they could. No, they could be in it.
No, because why would they be on Yavin? Because they were probably as presumably
They
on Alderaan.
belong to
No, because they were on that ship with Leia at the beginning of
Rogue
the
One
original
or
movie.
of New
At
Hope.
the
They
beginning
belong
of
to
Star Wars. Yeah,
They belong to fucking. Is it Bail Organa or is it one of the Antilles that he tells to secure the droid?
No, it was Bail Organa because he's
So,
like, have these droids wiped. You're right.
There is, I think. Oh, Acolyte didn't show him. Okay, never mind. I was like, there hasn't been anything that hasn't shown him yet, but Acolyte didn't.
Right.
They could easily drop it, drop them in. The thing is, I kind of don't want them to.
No, I don't.
Melshi is a small returning character, so I'm kind of okay with you doing this.
that fits into this world, this
Right.
particular part of the world.
We don't need fucking R2 just doing like a fucking drive-by. Like, see that?
Just go by in the background.
He's from the original Star Wars.
Before we finish off these, I guess the film that we watched, I just want to say that I got something wrong. So Andor becomes the war reporter again and going in the Senate, right? So when I saw the trailer and I saw him dressed up all sexy as the fashion designer for Ghorman,
Valerian
I thought,
Sky.
Valerian Sky, that's what it is. I forgot about that. I forgot it, but I thought he was going to be dressed like that going undercover in the Senate. I really believe that's what it was, but it wasn't that. He's, again, a war reporter in the Senate. Just it works more thematically for this show, or reporter period, sorry. But again, him being the guy is like, I was on Ghorman. I was in the middle of the fucking massacre, the genocide. Like I'm now going into the halls of power with this information, and also doesn't really do anything with it. Like he just in and he has to get Mon Mothma out. So
yeah, he uses that information to get Mon Mothma to trust him.
Right.
He's like, I was there and I saw it and I'm on your side.
Right.
Basically. But so he takes her to a safe house, on the safe house that he lived in with Bix on Coruscant. Erskine, Clea, Cassian, Mon Mothma, Wilman, and Drina are all there, but Wilman's all fucked up. Clea tells him that Luthen is safe, but he's not there. And the big thing here is like that they, whoever they are, want Mon to make a speech, and they want her to leave with a Yavin escort. So basically, like, you're not going to get credit for this. Because he even finds out when he gets to Yavin right after this, Draven tells him, like, we're not logging any of this. You didn't go in or out of here. We want people to think that the rebellion did save her through Cassian. But, like, we want people to see the ships. We want people to see the X-Wings. We want people to know that this was the rebellion and not some
the gold
cloak
team.
and dagger shit. Yeah. So we have gold team going in.
Which works really well for the rest of the I guess Cassian's time in the franchise, because nobody has a statue to him when the Death Star gets blown up, right? Nobody's just like, thank you so much, this guy. Like, he's just a fucking grunt on the ground.
Yep.
The other thing that's set up here is Cassian, when he gets back to Yavin, is like, hey, by the way, there's a dead KX unit in there. You guys should work on that thing a little bit here. And we'll get to that right at the very end.
I do like that.
There's a thing where he goes back to his little hut that he's living in with Bix, and he's like, look, I've done a lot, but I want to leave. I want to be with you. The only special thing about me is luck, and I've overplayed my hand. All of this stuff. And when he wakes up in the morning, Bix is gone, and she's left him this Dear John hollow. It's like, I have to leave, and I can't be the reason that you leave, because we have to win. We have to beat them, and they can't do it without you, basically.
Yeah. It's back to the healer. The healer told her he either needs to be there or he's going to be with you. There's she didn't say it in so many words, but like there's really no both.
Yeah.
It's a subtle sort of twist on what we were expecting, but it's important because we talked in previous episodes, like what's going to happen to Bix? She's either going to die or she needs to like go off and live on her own because Cassian is so into the rebellion that it's going to fuck him up with her there that I even said like he might send her away, which shitty to say.
We didn't see this twist.
This puts it on her. She makes the decision because she chooses the rebellion for him.
Yep.
And it's not like, oh, the poor little weak woman has to be sent away because she can't handle this life. Blah. She wants this to happen. She believes in it.
Yeah.
She does what she has to do.
She left to keep him there, and she says, like, when you're done, come, we'll find each other and we can ride off into the sunset together.
Fuck.
Which we know is not what happened.
Yeah.
He rides off into a
the sunset
nuclear sunset.
The sunset rides right over him.
Bro, that got me real good. That got me bad. And she believes it. She's like, we're gonna be together again. We're destined to be together, and it's gonna happen when we win. I was like, fuck it.
Just like, no, you're not. No.
Yeah. And then it ends with them booting up this KX unit that they've hacked, and we get Alan Tudyk.
I love it. I like the explanation. The guy's like, look, we're talking about like re-imprinting on a droid. That sounds like a job for a console, but it's not. It's about going in there and rewiring shit and yada yada. I hope it works.
It's not just tippy tapping on a computer. You have to change the internal wiring. But I love when like Cassian and these other soldiers are holding their guns on the thing when they're waking it up, and he looks over and sees a gun's pointed at him. He's like, if I've offended you, I apologize. If not, I'd appreciate you pointing that elsewhere.
Alan Tudyk. Fuck yeah.
It's a good little, like, after 2 episodes of just like devastation, it's a good little kind of like pick me up at the end of the arc here.
That's a well said statement. Needed that little fucking like, okay, that was a good giggle because I just about bawled my eyes out with Bix leaving that fucking dear John. So thank you for something.
Yeah.
And thematically, she leaves, and his partner, his buddy, his rebellion partner,
there you go,
comes alive. So it's just like, let's
we've probably
split these 2 worlds up.
We've probably talked before, but like the droid's personality has to do with who either rewires them or wires them in the first place. So somebody who's working on this is a cheeky little fella.
I don't know the guy's name, but there's that guy that you follow, Jack, that you've told me, you showed me a couple of videos of. I've seen him.
Generation
who does
Tech?
the like. No, not Star Wars stuff. He does the videos of like people pitching movies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always him talking to himself.
Movie pitch meeting.
Yeah, and he does other videos too. And I saw one that he did, I think it was him, that did about people programming the droids. And it's like, okay, well then why are all these droids such smartasses if he's like, well, I think it'd be great if he kind of just gave little quips here and there and came back and it's like, okay, but this guy's job is to fix ships while they're in space and they're fighting, and he's like, right, but if he could just have a little bit of attitude, I'd really appreciate, just some droid programmer who's like, look, I think it's really funny. And it's not important, but I'm gonna die on this hill.
While we were on droids, I do like the fact that the Empire has droids, because battle droids are illegal. Like we're what, 20 years removed from the separatists using the battle droids, so you can't actually build battle droids. But the fucking manufacturer for these guys had a little skirt around the law with wording, and they're like, well, they don't kill humans unless that human tells them to.
Oh, okay. So that's why it's kind of a bigger deal that the Empire is using the KX droids here. Then.
Yes.
That's why Cyril had a real fucking like, wait, what?
Because you're looking at it. Like, I mean, he would have been alive during the Clone Wars, but young. But yeah, it's a big no-no.
We also, and I did notice this, we didn't talk about it, but during the Ghorman massacre, Cassian's face does recognize the KX droid because that's the thing that arrested him in Space Miami. Remember?
Oh, yeah, Miamos.
Yeah.
And so you could see him being like shitting his pants. He was shitting his pants. He's like, oh, fuck, I know these things. Oh, no.
Yeah, I've been strangled by that thing.
Yeah, they'll rattle people to death.
Yeah.
So before we dismount, because we won't have a chance to talk about it before until it happens, what are the chances you think we're getting a stinger? At the very on the last episode.
I think there will be, because I think almost all of them, maybe the Acolyte didn't, but pretty much everything else has had some kind of stinger episode. I mean, at least episode or season 1 did. I mean, we ended with the Death Star to see where those little stars they were building were going.
It's going to be Kino. It's going to be Kino Loy just on a planet like I'm still alive, bitches.
Oh, I was dead. You thought?
I've been living in this cave. I've gotten shorter and scragglier, and I'm going to go hang out with these hobbits.
I think it's going to be whatever happens literally right before we see Cassian and Rogue One. Like everything, like very slowly leading up to it, and it builds into. I can't remember off the top of my head how we are introduced to him, but it might be like
he shoots that rebel guy because he can't keep up.
Right,
so kind of how Rogue One ends, where it ends with the like seconds before the first scene of New Hope. Yeah. It'll end with seconds before the first scene of Rogue One. Like it'll be Cassian being dropped off on that little planet where he shoots that dude or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think that's what it's going to be. Also, when it comes to the characters that we know are not in Rogue One but are here, like Willman, Val. Do we think there's a chance that they will live and just have been in the background the whole time?
Maybe Willman might.
I think some of them might make it. I feel like Willman's gonna go. Okay. I mean, Vel might. Like some of them might make it. You know who has to die? I'll actually be disappointed if he doesn't die. Is Luthen? I'd love to see him die.
That's a foregone conclusion. Luthen's gonna die. Willman is gonna become a fucking two tubes. Calling it out. One of those two tubes.
That's not how that works.
That's how he gets his fucking toxic substance. It's through the tubes, the Rhydon.
Not how two tubes works.
He gets all fucked up and he's like, look, I know I need to live with a mask now. I don't want one like that Darth Vader guy has. I want one like my friend too.
So there's two.
Or his brother too.
Yeah. Yes. They're egg mates.
I'm seeing double 8 tubes.
Look, those guys both have 2 tubes. That's weird. They're copying each other. Can I have 4 tubes?
Assert dominance. Get more tubes.
There's no doubt in my mind Luthen dies in the next batch of episodes. But my whole thing is just like, what about the smaller characters? I mean, because Val could have just been. And my thing at the end of Rogue One is I really didn't expect everyone to die because I thought they were just gonna milk this dry and say, here's what Cassian and all these people were doing in the background of, the original trilogy. There's the comic book with fucking, what's her name? Sexy Mads Mikkelsen's daughter, etc.
Oh, yeah. Jen Erso.
Jen Erso, yes. Yeah. I know it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, but if you have Stellan Skarsgård and you don't have him have an epic death scene, you've wasted your money.
You fucked up.
True. You hear me, Marvel? So that'll be it for this episode of all of 2 BBY.
It's so much, dude. Like, holy shit.
That was a
lot. I'm going to go watch again.
We'll be back next week. I guess we'll see how this episode pans out once I edit it. Maybe we'll do the same thing. Maybe we'll do 3. I feel like this worked.
Yeah,
it worked. It worked. Yeah, again, it was a very long Star Wars film, but it was an amazing Star Wars film.
Yeah,
so why not?
All right. Well, Classy, you have stuff that you want to plug before we go?
Yes. Follow me, The Classy Alcoholic, on Instagram and Blue Sky. Follow my podcast, The Mixed Company Podcast, on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. If you're curious about professional boxing, we have a lot to teach you. And if you want to shout me out, B38, our listener here, shouted me out on YouTube. So thank you so much for the kind words. Really love it. So anybody else, make sure that you go to the YouTube or Spotify visuals for this very episode and tell me how much I suck shit. I'll read the comments on the air and tell you how much you suck shit. I don't care. If you don't have haters, you're not popping.
Like, no publicity is bad publicity.
Exactly.
So.
That's the empire.
So for this, I've been Derek.
I'm Jack.
I'm the Classy Alcoholic.
We are Ghorman. Bum ba bum 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 bum.
Ta-da, salute.
Truth is, dude, like not only did I put this chair together, I have a genuine fear of the chair falling apart and part of it going in my butt, like just collapsing and it going right up my butt. That is a concern I have all the time. And a recliner, there ain't nothing can go up my butt in a recliner.
Not unless you're trying harder.
I'm not going to.